Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 86 of Punching Up, Last Stand Media's weekly Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, as always, Brad Ellis, and joining me, I have my two lovely co-hosts. First, we're going to go to Mr. Gene Park, who's out on location right now because his power's out at his house or his apartment. So he's in the Washington Post office, I believe, right?
Yes, sir. My electricity is out again for the second time this year. I live in a shitty building, I guess. Yeah, I'm here at work at the Washington Post. You all can see the newsroom in the background, and I am in an audio booth room where there is like wall pads here, and so this is perfect for podcasting. This is like the podcast room. We even have like a little radio sign, right there from Radio City Music Hall. So I'm just like all. I'm a podcaster today, baby. But
just like Mary Jane, dude, you made it.
Yeah. This is the new normal, right?
Yeah, the new normal.
Yeah.
Do you do interviews in there usually, or do you do them at home?
I have done interviews in here before, but like when I've had to do like NPR hits, I would go into one of these booths and be able to do it here. Like there's like this really like weird like telephone here with like a screen and everything.
Whoa.
Sorry for audio listeners, but check it out on video. There's some weird equipment here too.
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, I hope the listeners don't mind. The audio quality isn't the best and the video quality is via my iPad. But Micah, our other lovely co-host, was saying something funny about that actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just that our listeners are Nintendo fans. And so they are used to the lower tech option. I mean, what do we need good graphics for? No, we don't need that.
Exactly.
We don't need the top of the line anything. We're Wii U fans, okay? Mm-hmm. We're fine.
540p, Gene Park. Let's go.
Hell yeah. But yes, Micah, hello. How are you?
Hello.
You've had a stressful morning.
Dude, yeah, okay. So, long story short, we just had our normal scheduled AC maintenance. Twice a year they come out for preventative maintenance to check the unit for any issues, just to get ahead of it, right? And it all started because they never call until 10 a.m. And so I woke up at 9 a.m. thinking I was waking up early, and I missed their call. They had called at 8:45 to tell me the dude was on the way. And then it was like, oh my God, they're literally calling me right now. I can't deal with this. And then,
oh my God.
And I missed the call though, right? I missed the call because they didn't wake up until 9, thinking I was like ahead of their 10 a.m. call. They already sent the guy to a different house. They said, well, he'll come to your house next. That was at 1 in the afternoon that this dude finally showed up at our house. So I was just kind of dicking around doing stuff. Well, I was fulfilling orders for tomorrow, which is great. And then he told us we might need our whole unit replaced, which is if you don't know, it's $10,000 potentially to have your A-fucking-C unit replaced. And so then we had to have a different guy come out that specializes in it. And he came out to tell us if we needed to or not. And then he's like, I don't think you have to have this replaced, but we do need to have another guy look at it. So their call they're probably leaving now is a voicemail to schedule another visit. And I'll deal with that later. Yeah. I'm fucking sick of doing this.
Okay. You can call him if you need to right now. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
The Siri transcribes the voicemail, so I'm going to read it and then see if this is urgent or not. Okay. But if I can call them tomorrow, I certainly will.
Okay. Hey, if you want to support us on the show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia and get early ad-free access to all of our shows and benefits like Sacred Symbols Plus once a week. All that good stuff. Recently, me and Gene and Dustin did a Silent Hill F spoiler cast. So if you want info on that, check that out. Recently, the most recent one, Colin sat down with Cog and talked to him about his trip to Japan. So if you want to know about Cog's escapades.
I missed that one. Okay, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, so check that out.
I am an LSM listener too. So
yes, sir. Yeah, I listen to LSM shows occasionally too. When I'm at the gym or something like that, I gotta, keep in touch with everybody. Keep perspective.
Bradley, did you catch Locke and I's little prank yesterday? When you got up to go get something and like we narrated
No, I
it and
didn't.
we were like, oh, Brad stood up and his head went right through the ceiling. We're like, he's so tall. We're like, there's ceiling dust raining down on his keyboard.
He is tall.
I did not see that. That's really
Bradley
funny.
Ellis, 7 feet tall.
That's right. I'm still growing.
Cog isn't that tall, actually, I think. Right?
What did you say?
We are a group of short kings, myself
Cog-
included in that. Like we are a group of short kings at Last Stand Media.
Oh, we have some short kings, but we have some taller people too, though.
You're not that. Well, actually, you're pretty tiny, actually.
Yeah,
Micah.
she's
You're a
like
slip
fun
of a woman.
size, like fun size candy bar. That's what I'd say.
It's in my family. I look tall against other people because, like, I'm taller than my dad and my sister, but
Yeah.
I'm shorter than my mom. But like, if we have like a family reunion into my dad's side of the family, I'm a giant to like most of
Damn.
those people. And so then but we see my mom's side of the family, and they're all like wicked tall. So depending on the group, I appear to either be somewhat average or very small.
You're average. You're average.
Oh yeah, I think the average height for a woman in the U.S. is like 5'5". So I'm right around there.
Yeah.
I'm right around there.
4'8". Don't worry, you'll keep growing. Merch, laststandmedia.store. Hey everybody, thanks for the pre-orders of the Sacred Symbols holiday sweatshirt. They went very well, according to Micah. So thank you guys for the support over there. But if you want some more merch, you want a punch up sticker, head on over to laststandmedia.store. Get some merchandise of our stuff. Look like a
I
freak
forgot
out
to
in the wild.
mention. I forgot to mention on Summon Sign that the navy blue Sacred Symbols tee is here. So the new
Ooh,
Stealth
nice.
Sacred tee in blue is out. We also restocked the black moon beanies are back. So it's the black beanie with the white moon logo. Those are back. Those have been sold out for a bit. And we did a restock on the sacred beanies. So we'll have plenty of those for the winter season. I've already seen some of those getting sold as it's getting colder out again. So thank you for your orders. I'm already working on them. So I spent my morning doing. And in terms of the holiday sweater, we are on track. Our goal was to start shipping them November 13th. That's what we put on the pre-order email. And we should be on track to do that. I submitted everything to the guy. And so he is saying, yeah, we should be golden on having them arrive to you by then. So we should be on track for everything.
Hell yeah. Very cool. Josh Bailey wrote in, said, Micah, I'm a bit behind on episodes, but I am disheartened to hear that you can't cook fish due to Colin. You should try the Cracker Barrel Friday night fish fry. You get both your fish and a trip to Cracker Barrel. Colin can also gets to enjoy Cracker Barrel. It's a win-win for everybody.
Why does Colin not?
He just doesn't like fish.
He just doesn't like fish.
Oh, he
Yeah.
hates fish.
Really? What's wrong with the fish? Like even sushi or something, or what?
Oh no! It is all fish, all seafood. Just does not like it. Oh, and it's cod fillets. Because I just googled this because part of the reason I don't usually get the fish at Cracker Barrel is because I know one of them is like a catfish dinner. I'm a seafood gal, but I don't love everything. Like I don't like salmon at all.
Really? You don't like salmon?
Yeah, no.
It's
No,
like
I
the
don't like-
saltiest one. It's like
It's because I find the aroma of salmon to be too close to the aroma of a woman. And I just find it
Oh my
off-putting.
God, dude.
I literally think it just smells just like it. And I'm like, it's the same. It's literally when people said the avocado tastes like clean penis. And it's just like, the thing is, it's like, it's dead on, bro. Like it's dead on. And I don't like avocado.
I don't even.
Because I was like, this is a weird food. I'm not sure how I feel about this flavor.
Man, that's so funny.
So I don't love all fish, but I like a lot of seafood.
How does clean penis smell like? I mean, I've only smelled my own, and it's been clean. And
Eat an avocado, a plain avocado. It is. When people said that, I was like, yo, that's why I found it off-putting. Because Colin, the first time I ever tried avocado was here. It was like a year ago.
The first time I cleaned Colin's penis.
We're not taking it that far. But the first time I ever tried avocado, because Colin bought some, and he was like, "Just try a bite," because I really was like, "I don't want to try it. I'm not a very adventurous eater," and I was like, "It's not bad, but it doesn't taste like food." And then literally like months later, that tweet came out where they were like, "Avocado tastes like clean penis," and I was like, "Bro, that's fucking dead on. And that's why I was like, this is fine, but I wouldn't want to like eat a whole bunch of it. And it's dead on. Like,
I'm like coughing
it
because I
really
want to
is.
throw up.
It really is dead on. So, and I find that salmon just reeks of pussy. So I don't like that. But, you know, I like other fish. And so seeing that the Friday fish fry is cod fillets, I'm all about that. I might give that a go.
Okay.
So many
Every
questions.
podcast.
I don't.
Welcome. Yeah.
I don't want to ask them.
Ask the questions, Gene.
No.
Avocado is very good for you. So
I
that's a
want
bonus.
see. I just find avocado. Part of it's the texture. I'm a texture person. Like I love peanut butter, but I spread it on toast extremely thin. I do like peanut butter crackers. I'm using like a weirdly small amount of peanut butter because I love the flavor. The texture though is like, eh. So avocado is like so smooth and buttery. It's like eating a stick of butter. And I'm
What
like,
about,
but I wouldn't eat a stick
like
of butter.
guacamole. You got some other stuff.
I've never
in there.
had guacamole either.
Really? Get it when you go to Chipotle next time. Try it.
No.
It's so good.
It's that I say this to one of our nieces is very picky. And I'm not like wicked picky, but I sympathize with her. And so like the adults will be like, "Oh, you gotta try it," and I do the Homer Simpson line, which I think is, "I don't try a new food unless I've had it before."
Yeah, it sounds like you.
I'm a great influence on the children.
Yep.
It's,
Daniel. Oh, what were you say, Gene?
No, that's our Punch Out podcast. This is a Nintendo podcast.
Yeah.
You can find out all about the Last Time Media merch and also, you know, how Micah has smelled clean penis and pussy before.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, yeah, everybody has. Gene, you went to a BDSM party. We've all smelled it. And also, I want to point out, I'm not the first person to make the salmon connection. When I was in high school, my friend Big Bob, shout out Big Bob, he said, and I quote, "If it smells like salmon, keep on slamming. If it smells like trout, get the hell out." So I'm not the first person to make that connection.
No. That's age-old wisdom that fish and vagina smell similar. So what are we talking about? Anyways.
Salmon's dead on. I'm telling you, you put a salmon fillet in your oven, the whole house it's like, hello, ladies. I'm out of there. I don't like it.
It's too powerful.
It is.
Daniel Ross wrote in and said, "Gene, what the hell is going on? Every news site was just egregiously rolling with the Miyamoto quote. Doesn't anybody do their due diligence and check these things first before shitting them out as fact? Who's really to blame for this? Is it social media outrage narrative that quickly spirals, or is it the media news sites demanding high click rates and article turnover? Thanks, and keep creaming them." So what's going on here, Gene? Give me context.
Yeah. So over the weekend on Sunday, this is the timeline of what happened. There was an article by KyotoNews.net, which is Kyoto spelled with a D instead of a T, right? And they're just like some nonprofit like aggregator of news or whatever, right, in Japan. And so they're not like fake news, right? But who the fuck reads Kyoto News except Twitter account user Stealth40K, who is kind of like who's trying to be like a Nibelian of Nintendo news, you know, of just like aggregating stuff from what he reads and just putting it out there. And for some reason, Kyoto News had this quote that says, "Games get outdated, but films last forever," something like that, right?
Right.
And this was a quote that had no source. The Kyoto News story had no byline, no real writer on it. It didn't cite any source whatsoever on where Miyamoto said this or why. It just says, this is what Miyamoto said about why Nintendo is pursuing film. And Stealth40K saw that, didn't question it, and just posted it on Twitter, and it became this whole news cycle where other gaming journalist sites decided to just take whatever Stealth wrote and looked at the Kyoto News link and just regurgitated that. And this was like Game Rant, The Gamer, all your stupid aggregator gaming journalism websites or whatever, right? And it turns out that not only did Miyamoto not say this recently, but it was a completely made up quote that just took things from another interview that he did last year in 2024 during the opening of the Nintendo Museum. So the entire context of him talking about the legacy of IP, it's like he wasn't talking about what games getting outdated and film becoming last forever. He's talking about
Right.
how can IP growth can endure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about so he isn't saying like games just get outdated and games stop running. First of all, it's such a weird quote. Why would Miyamoto say games stop running when they get old? Like that doesn't make any sense, right?
Right.
What he's saying is that games do get outdated in the eyes of the public. Look at fucking the Avengers. Nobody cared about Iron Man before the Iron Man 2008 movie came out, right? Nobody cared about the Avengers before the Avengers movie came out, right? People only care about Batman because the Batman movies blew up the world back in the 80s and 90s and continuing in the 2000s. Spider-Man movies too. That's why Batman and Spider-Man are the two most popular superheroes of all time, you know? Because films can supercharge an IP to infinity. That's what he's talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Kyoto News, for some reason, I have no idea what this operation does, but for some reason they took this old quote, made up a whole new quote out of it, and just put it out there. So I'm guessing that Kyoto News is probably AI driven or something, because again that website had no person writing it there, and his stealth was gullible as fuck, you know. And he's a cool guy, like you know. I talk with him sometimes, but he was also a dumb fuck for this, you know. And he just like took that and decided to just tweet it out there. And then other dumb fucks decided to follow along, and they work as journalists in gaming news sites, and they decided to aggregate that without checking anything of their own. They just said, "Oh, Kyoto News said this, so it must be true." And then so there was a whole quote about how Miyamoto, the guy who basically is like the father of the modern video game, doesn't think video games are art, you know?
Yeah.
And then shout out to Irasu over at Blue Sky, who found the original interview and said that this quote just doesn't exist at all. Period. And you know, I had to tell Stealth, I was like, dude, like you're just spreading misinformation. And then a whole bunch of other websites did that. I called out a bunch of websites over the weekend on Sunday. The Gamer, Game Rant, they all took their stories down or issued corrections and everything. My Nintendo News, whatever, a site that we cite sometimes, they're also a garbage site. I've mentioned this before. I think so much of Nintendo news sites are just garbage. So many video games are just garbage. Video game websites are just garbage, including the ones that you think you might trust, like for example, Game Rant or The Gamer. People who are actually staffed with quote unquote games journalists who don't do any journalism whatsoever. You know, literally, all you're doing is reading another article, rewriting that for your own website, and then publishing. That's it. You did no journalism of your own. You didn't check with Nintendo, with editing. So, you know, Daniel Ross asks, doesn't anybody do their due diligence and check these things first before shooting them out as fact? No, they don't. And that's not journalism. You can't just like take another person's story and then just rewrite it and then post that. You're not doing journalism. You're just doing what could be easily be replaced by AI. That's the reason why AI is so powerful, because our journalism is so fucking weak. Our media is so weak that why not just replace it with AI? Because the actual people working at these places are worthless, honestly, you know? And who's really to blame for this? Is it a social media outrage narrative that quickly spirals, or is it the media news sites demanding high click rates and article turnover? I'm actually going to blame the journalists on this one. I'm going to blame the media on this one. Stealth 40K was a dumbass, and he should have known better. And the reason why I think that he's a dumbass and other social media people who jumped on this word dumbasses is because first of all, Miyamoto just does not give interviews willy-nilly, you know?
Right.
He will do an interview around a major Nintendo event, for example, the opening of Super Nintendo World in Orlando, or the opening of a Nintendo Museum, which is exactly the case here. You know, he's not going to just pop out of nowhere and say, "Oh, games are outdated and films are forever." It's just like think for a second. You know, think for a second. Why would Miyamoto say this now on Sunday, October, on a random Sunday in October for whatever reason, right?
Right.
He's also dumb because he looked at that and didn't question anything. He just ran with it, you know? But it's really the fault ultimately of Kyoto News, whatever that website is, to just pull that out there and make up a new quote out of it. And it's also the part of the gaming media sites to proliferate that thing and to cement it as almost like a reported fact when there's nothing reported and there's nothing factual, you know?
Right.
So I'm gonna blame the media organization on this. You know, Stealth was gullible on this, but he was tricked ultimately by the media.
Mhm.
So this is why this is why I don't like the media. I don't like games journalism. I think games media are garbage. You know, they don't do any work. Period.
Right.
You know.
I guess if there's someone out there, Gene, who does want to find some reliable games media or someone to follow, who do you think would be a good person to?
Look, we all make fun of IGN, and I make fun of IGN too, right? But you know, at least IGN will double check if Miyamoto actually said that, though. You know,
Yeah.
I trust IGN's editorial standards well enough. I think IGN's editorial standards aren't up to par to regular journalism standards, but they do enough to make sure that they have original sourcing, and they do have good reporters there that would do that. They wouldn't just willy-nilly say that and just publish it. They would actually check with Nintendo to see whether he said that, you know,
Mhm.
before anything. So yeah, I would just say trust IGN. Kotaku is really hit or miss, right? But sometimes they do a good job. Sometimes. But you know, I honestly believe that sometimes they also engage in the same practices where they just rewrite stuff and just blast it out there, right? But they've had
Sure.
to make so many corrections in the past too. So
Yeah.
honestly, I think if IGN hasn't reported it, then maybe just hold back a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Unless you actually hear a video of him saying something, and you know, but why would he do that? There's rarely any video of Miyamoto saying anything, you know? So
Right.
it's like more like, oh, Phil Spencer said this, and it's like, did he? Where did it come from? You know, why did he say it? So it's like Kit and Krista, the former Nintendo PR folks, they did a video yesterday. They just posted a video Monday on the misinformation cycle over at Nintendo, and they were calling people out too. They were calling people out who quote them all the time, you know, because
Mhm.
Game Rant had a whole article about former Nintendo marketing execs say that Pokemon Legends ZA only needs to sell 200,000 copies to make a profit, and it's like they didn't do any of that. They were just doing like napkin math. But then what these idiot games journalists did was take that and make a whole article about it like it was fact. It was crazy, crazy.
Yeah. Do you think it's just kind of like a race to the bottom
Yeah,
with
it
a lot of
is. It
this?
is because you know, like Game Rant or the Gamer or whatever are owned by Valnet, and they're just like a porn. They also own porn sites, so they're just churning out content for the sake of it, and they're
Clicks.
paying these people $10 an article to write stuff. So it's just an evil ecosystem that you really can't trust anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. I
And
guess that's
so
why a
yeah,
lot.
so like and then over the weekend, Does It Play, the community run organization that likes to test whether physical media games have the entire game on their disc, also retweeted that, and I called them out on it. But I called out the games journalists first. Every single person, including Stealth and the games media, retracted and say, "Oh, sorry, we made a mistake," right? And they just
Yeah.
like moved on, like adults at least. You know, they may be bad journalists, but at least they were adults about it, right?
Mhm.
Does It Play started whining about like, oh, well, I was putting my kids to bed. I was like, dude, nobody asked about your fucking kids, dude. Like, why are you bringing your fucking kids into it and trying to scrape a W and sympathy out of your irresponsibleness? You know, just delete it and move on with your day.
Yeah.
Stop whining about it. You know.
Yeah. Just be like,
So
oh, my bad. Sorry.
yeah,
That's it.
literally it. You know, Salty Derek Dan, a famous YouTuber, did the same thing, and he said, "Oh fuck, dude, my bad. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
fell for it," and he just moved on. You know,
Yeah.
but Does It Play? I was like, "Oh my god, my kids though. I just didn't have a good enough sleep it was my first good night's rest in a month," and it's like nobody fucking asked you. Why don't you shut the fuck up and tell me whether Ninja Gaiden 4 is all on the disc on PS5? That's literally it, you know? So like my issue with Does It Play is if you're going to present yourself as a factual organization dealing in facts, maybe you should be a little bit more responsible about how you present yourself. Yes, you're not a professional journalism organization. You're just a voluntary run organization. So why don't you just shut the fuck up and do your job?
Yeah.
And look, I'm not happy about having to have a beef with Does It Play, an organization that I support. I love physical media. Me and Micah are the physical media nerds. We love physical media, So why am I beefing with Does It Play? It feels like I would be having beef with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Like, why? But the only reason why I would have beef with Mothers Against Drunk Driving is because their social media manager suddenly decided to start saying that, oh, the president of Budweiser says, I love drunk drivers. I think we should have more drunk drivers on the streets. And it's like, why are you saying that, Mothers Against Drunk Driving? That's wrong. Where did you get that? Yeah. So it's like, I don't even have a problem with the organization at all. And I'm sure that it's filled with a lot of lovely volunteers and people who are doing great work. I support that. Whoever running that account is a maniac and a pathetic person. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyways, rant over.
I feel like if you call yourself a games journalist, which I don't, by the way, and never have, I think you comes with some expectations in that sense of really diving deep and fact checking all that kind of stuff and having some sort of standards. I'm not a fucking journalist. I just talk about games.
Yeah,
that's it. So I'm nowhere in the same league as Gene and anything like that. None of us are at this network anymore. Colin was back in the day, but I certainly never was because it comes with high expectations in that sense. And it's like, I was never doing journalism reporting or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Everyone wants to fucking break news and be the first one to do it and get clicks. And it's like, just fucking take a second, man. Just relax.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what you're writing out real quick. And I get it. Mistakes happen, but you don't got to be a little bitch about it, I guess, if you make a mistake.
If you make a mistake, just move on. I make mistakes all the time, too. I'm like,
up, move on.
My bad. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'll try not to do that again,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways.
More drama.
Yeah.
Nothing like a new Twitter beef.
That's right, baby.
Why am I beefing with Does It Play? It makes no sense. It's so stupid. But whoever runs that account needs to get their shit together,
Yeah.
Go to bed earlier, Oh my God. Take care of your kids, man.
I missed a lot of this. I saw people talking about the quote, and literally, though, I took it as like, yeah, like old games are hard to play, so film is easier to access. An old movie is easier to access than an old game, I guess.
That's still true.
So I didn't,
yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know. I also just didn't take this doom and gloom approach with the quote in the first place. Like, whether it was true or not, I was like, yeah, it's hard to play older games. I can rent a really old movie super easy or find it. So I just didn't even take it that hard in the first place.
Yeah.
And it surprised me that people ran so wild with it, because it's like, even if it was real and you gave him the benefit of the doubt in that sense, it's like, I don't know, man. It is a lot harder to play old games than it is to watch an old film. So in terms of like what endures through culture and what's accessible to people, what's easy for people to interact with, yeah, film would win. And that's just how I took it. Of course, it ended up not even being real, but I was shocked at like how angry some people were, and then turned into an argument about emulation. And I was like, what the hell's going on here?
It's just people having their own little pet like activism attaching onto this, to the most important figure in video games history of saying something. But you're right, Micah. Like, movies are it's just a fact. Even if that made up quote was wrong, he's speaking truth. It's easier to just see an old movie on YouTube, which many of them are free. You can't play video games on YouTube,
No.
You can play browser games maybe, but that's even harder to find than just going on YouTube and finding an old movie, It's ridiculous.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, over the summer, I had this passion project of I wanted to find the version of Fish Tycoon that I played when I was a kid. Now, it does still exist, but I think it was like only on Steam and only for PC. Like, and it was and I was just like, yeah, it's still out there, but I don't have a PC, and so I can't play it. And I was like, oh well. And I ended up playing a different version of Fish Tycoon to scratch the itch.
Yeah, you have a PC. You're using one right now.
This is a Mac.
Oh, okay. Well,
And it literally is just not available on Mac. And I was like, oh, darn it. And I ended up playing this really fun game instead where you make cakes. Cake Mania, I think is what it was called. That still exists on browser. I fucking loved that game, dude. It's one of those games where like customer orders the cake, you gotta pick the shape and the frosting, and then it gets more hectic. I love that shit. I love that shit. But it's like those games are getting even those stupid little browser games. There was an entire website when I was a kid. One of my favorite websites for silly little games was called KiddoNet. And my sister and I would always go on KiddoNet and we'd play Muppy, which was our favorite. And there were all these great games. And KiddoNet shut down several years ago. And I remember thinking, wow. I mean, I went to that website every day after school for years and it's just gone. And I'm sure some of those games still exist in other places. Like maybe Nobby Nuss is still out there. That was my other favorite game. Is this little squirrel that it's a little platforming game. You collect acorns. But it was like that entire website was just taken offline and all those games with it. So in terms of like what endures, yeah, there's lost media. Of course there is. But the games are so much harder to access at a certain point, and just with the requirements to run them and shit like that.
Yeah, I can still find old episodes of Thundercats like anywhere. It's easy versus, me playing The Legend of Kage for NES or something, Like it's just easier to reproduce film versus reproducing games.
Oh, bro, so like I never played the Lego Lord of the Rings, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to try and find that, and so it's the Xbox, 360 marketplace is gone. The game is backwards compatible, but you got to have a physical disc. Damn. So I'm like, I can try and hunt down a 360 copy, and they're like getting pretty expensive. Or I could actually get it for cheaper on 3DS, I think, and I might do that. But it's like that's not even that old, and it's already like we're limited now to like you got to get a physical copy if you want to play that on your Xbox because you can't buy it anymore because of the licensing shit.
Yep. Yeah, so it's just not Nintendo also making it harder to play games. It's just the nature of games, and like they're just hard to reproduce. And Colin was just having a whole rant about how Blue Point is just being wasted by trying to make new IP. And it's like, dude, why aren't you fucking porting games? Because you need a whole team to do that versus just take the movie file and just put it on YouTube and upload it. Versus
dude, yeah, exactly. When they're like, we got the Wizard of Oz in 4K, and it's like, what? You can do that shit? And meanwhile, I can't get fucking Lego Lord of the Rings because nobody wants to bother with getting a license and doing it. But they're like, we got fucking Wizard of Oz. It's looking so crisp, and I'm like, damn it. I don't even like that movie.
And that's why, and again, I've been on this whole emulation kick, right? And I'm starting to understand, like, there's so much work that goes into emulation. You have to create programs that reproduce what, like, a Wii U or an Xbox or PS2 would do on your computer. That's an incredible, like, wizardry to do just to be able to play Matrix Path of the Neo or Silent Hill 1 or Xenogears or whatever like that. I have to turn my computer into a PS1 by using a whole different program. That's so complicated versus me clicking on a video file and pressing play on the video window on VLC or something, It's crazy. So yes, it's just by their nature, video games are harder to reproduce than film.
Micah, I just bought Lego Lord of the Rings and Hobbit on Steam for I think $8. No,
Steam
sorry,
Deck. Steam Deck. Get a Steam Deck, Micah.
$6.62.
That is such an investment to get a Steam Deck versus buying a used copy at GameStop.
Hey, you should have bought it instead of the G Cloud.
No, the G Cloud's still fine. She's still fine. I fixed the internet issue on the Xbox. The G Cloud works again.
You're an Xbox gal. Just spend $1,000 and get an Xbox Raw Ally X. And
not play your Xbox
my
games on
God, no. It's over. There's gonna be a point where it's over for Xbox.
Get one
and
for
I'm gonna have to just accept
Get a
it.
Steam Deck for Christmas.
I don't want one though. You don't understand that I don't want one.
All right, you're missing out.
Am I?
All those good
I'll be
games.
playing Lord of the Rings, Hobbit,
Lego Lord of the Rings. That's worth
and
it
Hobbit for like $6. Yeah, dude. That's a common occurrence.
Just get the LCD one. Yeah, it's awesome. And yeah, you'll be playing smaller games. It's not like you'll be playing fucking Cyberpunk on that thing. So it just load it up with some awesome games, and it'll just run really well and perfectly, and easily too. That's the issue.
Mhm.
Just out of spite, I'm gonna buy the 360 copy of Lego Lord of the Rings,
Be my guest.
and maybe I'll buy the 3DS one too.
Be my guest. You're gonna be paying a lot for those.
No, the 3DS one's fucking cheap. Like, that was surprisingly cheap at GameStop. It was the 360 copy is definitely the sought after one. It gives me pause that maybe the 3DS version's not very good, but
I mean,
it was.
I'm sure it's not.
Well, okay, Brad, I like the 3DS.
3.8 out of 10 on IGN.
That's fine. That's not that bad.
3.8. That's really bad. How much does it cost on Amazon? $22 on Amazon. Just
Not
for
bad.
that.
That's good.
Let's see 360. 360 price on Amazon. All right, let's do GameStop. Is that where you would buy it, Micah? GameStop?
Yeah, GameStop has the Lego Lord of the Rings for 360 for $26.
There you go.
So that's not that bad. Oh yeah, the 3DS copy is $9.50. So I get for $25 to play it.
And I spent $6.50.
Yeah, but how much? You're acting like I already have the Steam Deck and I'm choosing not to buy it. How much is that?
Could have had it.
Steam Deck's like $350.
Yeah.
For the best gaming device out there. Better than Nintendo Switch 2. I even say that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I added it to my cart. We're gonna see if by the end of this episode, if I'm not gonna get free shipping. No, the Lego Lord of the Rings.
That would be
I was so excited for a second there.
Dude, we should just tell Colin that Mike has been hinting at a Steam Deck and not tell her.
Oh my god, right? Because you were the secret sauce. You're the reason why I got the Switch Lite. Because I was like, bro, what? Like, because I only mentioned it to Colin like once that I was thinking of getting it, but I was like, I shouldn't. And Brad was the reason why Colin actually ended up getting it. That was so clutch, bro. I was like, holy shit.
The yellow one as well.
Rad. Having friends fucking rules. They tell your significant other things.
All right, guys, let's talk about a big thing in Nintendo land right now. Pokemon ZA. Now, Gene, you put out a full review of this game that people can go read on the Washington Post. We can get into more of that as well. I've played a few hours of the game, so I have some context around it. But there's been a lot of hoopla around this game, just like recent Pokemon games, of people calling it out for good reasons in many cases. Now, I'm sure there's nonsense out there that people are complaining about that I don't really care about, but I think this game is definitely deserving a lot of the criticism it's receiving. But we do have some listeners who are positive on it, have positive things to say about it. So I was like, let's get some perspective on here. Let's get some of their thoughts in here.
Let's do it.
So this is from Jamie Burcham, wrote in, said, Punchers, we need a firm stand down to the budget slop crowd. Please read this in the voice. I don't know what their, like, the Sacred Voice slot version is, so I'll do my own.
The nerd voice. Yeah, there's no voice acting.
I'll do my own.
There's no voice acting. I can't see Pikachu's individual hairs. When people hand me things, there is nothing in their head.
ZA is a great game so far. I'm 10 hours in.
That's really good voice acting, Brad. You should
take it. Like, okay, I'm just saying it. If there's another Leisure Suit Larry game, I am like nominating Bradley as the lead role.
To be Leisure Suit Larry himself?
Dude, you fucking kill it at that. Are you kidding me?
You're killing it at the perv voice, yes.
I can only do extremely nerdy voices or borderline creepy men voices. So.
It's okay to have a niche, all right? Whenever the voice of Krillin is in something, you're like, there he is. There's that guy again. You can hear that little rattle to his voice. You're like, there it is.
Exactly. Let's see. ZA is a great game so far. I'm 10 hours in. People need to calm down and celebrate that a studio can spend $10 million and make a great profit. If it's broken like Scarlet and Violet, I understand. But let's not complain that Game Freak doesn't have a Sony-esque problem of inflated and unsustainable budgets. Now, let me read this from Big Stupid Idiot. Hey, Punchers, as a hardcore Pokemon fan that's been interacting with the IP basically the entirety of my entire 30 years of living, I've learned just to ignore the criticisms of non-fans, but the coverage of ZA feels like I'm living in an unreality. And I have to call out LSM's own Mr. Matty. To paraphrase, Maddie said ZA should have tripled its budget to make the game better because it's going to be profitable regardless. This mindset is why Western game development is crashing. ZA would be a better game with high-end graphics and Pokemon with ball-sack physics. I would just have to sell 10 million instead of 220,000 to break even. The games industry would be so much healthier if more games were as affordable to make as ZA as the cost for having buildings with JPEG textures instead of seeing Aloy's upper lip peach fuzz. I'll have fun while haters piss and shit themselves and listen.
I love this energy.
I think there is a point to what they're saying, and I agree to an extent.
Yeah.
But I look at Pokemon, I'm like, bro, come on, man. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, why are people so uptight about defending this shit? I don't understand.
We're bootlicking the Pokemon company right now?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. But first of all, did we verify that Maddie quote?
No, I don't know. We'll have to report back to Maddie. We'll have to check Maddie's video, so you better not be fucking lying. All right.
But the whole thing, like, we on this show are people who are very reasonable in saying, I totally think there should be games made with smaller budgets on tighter time frames so that we are not waiting 5-6 years for a sequel and things like that. And it costs so much that then the company ditches it because it didn't sell as well as they wanted because they spent $1 billion on it. We say that. We've said that numerous times that like we believe in smaller budgets for titles so that companies feel more comfortable. Like my number one thing is when projects are abandoned after the first game because it didn't sell well enough, but it's because they threw a shitload of money on it on that first attempt and they're not willing to make a second attempt because of that cost. And that's where I say, well, if you just had scaled down the budget a little bit, it might have been more viable to have that second try at it, and then it could have really taken off. So like we're about that shit. But it's just ironic here because like the Pokemon company is just printing money. I'm not saying they need to spend like a lot more, but they could spend a bit more to make it a higher quality experience. They simply could. It would still be profitable. These games sell like hotcakes. At a certain point, it's just like comes off as there's having a modest budget, and then there's just being actively greedy and saying they'll buy it anyways and giving your customer a lower quality product. I mean, there's just got to be a middle ground here. And I feel like they're at the lowest end of what's like acceptable to spend on such a big franchise.
Yeah. It's just like Pokemon has been on a trend of where it's just like fucked up. Where you're like, what's going on here? Why is this so bad in this regard? So to me, it's if you're referring to the Sony like extremely high budget games that don't perform whatever they want, it's like a waste. That's totally cool, and I understand that. But we're like on the exact opposite side with Pokemon right now, where they absolutely could spend more time if they wanted to. To me, it's like, have some fucking self-respect for your game, essentially, when I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, how are you guys
don't you want to put out a better product?
As developers, you have the resources. I fucking know you do to do this. You have the time. You have the power. I know you guys can do something about this. I don't want to hear Game Freak doesn't have power when they own 1/3 of Pokemon, period. It's like they have power to do this kind of shit. So to me, I get it. I think some games get criticism too much and they just get dogpiled on. But you got to call a fucking spade a spade and just say like, guys, come on, what are we doing here? No voice acting when it just feels like so out of place in the game, not having it, having like animated cutscenes and mouths moving and stuff. What are we fucking doing here? It's 2025 with Pokemon. You're the biggest IP on the planet. Have some fucking self-respect for yourself. It's ridiculous. Why are people defending this? I don't understand. Why is this okay for like when Gene's like showing off the game? It's like, it doesn't have to be this way, you guys.
No.
We don't have to be getting fed this and just being defensive about it. It's cool if you like it, and if it doesn't bother you, that's totally fine. I get that. Sometimes you want like a shitty Big Mac every now and then instead of something really great. It's okay. I understand that.
I love a good quarter pounder.
Exactly. But how long are we going to let this continue with every game? Maybe if there was like a high budget or like a better quality Pokemon game alongside this, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. But every single fucking game you're doing is like this? Come on, guys. Step up your game. You got to give it the times. Gene, I know you had a lot of problems with the game as well, from this regard.
Yes, so I actually brought the Metacritic score down from 81 down to 79. I think it's back up now because a lot of people like this game. IGN gave it an 8, right? And she loved it too. Here's what I wrote in my 2.5 out of 4 stars. So I don't think people thought like, oh, you just gave it a 5 out of 10. It's like, again, 4 stars. I gave it like a 65 or 7, right? Here's what I wrote. I love Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, despite how unattractive it looked or how the animations chugged under the first Switch. It's an issue that's plagued developer Game Freak since its transition Pokemon, the world's most valuable IP, from 2D games to 3D worlds. Despite the ugliness, the games recreate a timeless hero's journey tale of collecting, empowering, battling, and of course evolving cute monsters that took me since my high school years. As other modern games obsess over mega budget hyperrealism, it's worth celebrating games that focus on imagination or spectacle. But I go on to say, my disconnect with the game begins and ends with Lumio City, a flat echo of what should be the beating heart of its world. Yes, on the Switch too, it glides at 60 frames per second, but that smoothness comes at the cost of the soul. The thriving urban culture hinted at by the characters' bright personalities and street fashion, and the animations and like beautifully voiced like facial animations that you guys have seen, right? Is totally absent in the city itself. Windows, doors, balconies, all pressed flat against lifeless walls that fail as believable architecture. Wide streets stretch empty or are thinly populated by silent, slow-turning pedestrians. Every district blurs together, a copy of a copy of a copy. And rooftops and underground areas add barely any variety. A city that once promised romance and whimsy now feels like literal wallpaper.
Yeah, it feels like a movie set, I guess, walking around like a cheap movie set instead of being like immersed in this actual setting. It is weird. Like, Gene, you brought this up and I agree. It's like there's some cool like design every now and then. Like I look at the shops outside, I'm like, oh, these look cool. But you go up to them and it's just like a menu. It's like, man,
it's just a menu.
When your setting is the city itself, the entire game, I think you should focus a lot on that city to make it inviting and make you want to explore and make it feel immersive, and it just doesn't. But
I agree. I just wish the city. The game is fun. The battles are fun.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like,
sorry, go ahead.
Aside from all of that, I think from like a visual and like design perspective on like the city itself and the no voice acting, strange choices like that, I understand why people enjoy this game. The combat is fun to an extent. What I've done, it seems super spammy from what I've played so far. I'm very early in the game. It's just like kind of brain dead, and I understand like some people want that. Okay, it's Pokemon. It's not trying to be crazy challenging or anything like that, but it feels like strategy is not needed as much yet. Once again, I'm still very early in the game, so things may change like that. But it's like I was having fun catching stuff. I was enjoying that. So I think there is that Pokemon DNA still in this game that people love so much about the series. You still enjoy filling up that Pokedex. I think it's really cool seeing the Pokemon all kind of just wander around with you if you want them to. I was just bringing them out of my Pokeballs and having them run with me just to see what they looked like to scale, you know, with their Pokemon. That was really cool and great, but I don't know if I'm not like super into the game though right now. I want to play more of it, but like I'm seeing these like score 8s and all that kind of stuff. I don't personally see that at all. To me, it's like floating around like a 6 territory right now, which can still be fun.
That's where I put it.
Yeah, like in 6s could still be fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just there is a lot here that is left to be desired, in my opinion, so far.
Yeah. Like I get it. Like if you like, here's why like I kind of like focus on like an age angle. Like I'm 44 years old, man. Like I don't have a favorite Pokemon to where I'm like, oh my god, look, did you see what they did with Electros's animations or whatever like that? Like, I get it. If you have like a favorite Pokemon and you see how they glowed up your favorite Pokemon in this game, that's hype. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is hype.
I don't care because I always get Pikachu. I always get one of the Kanto starters in there. This time I got Bulbasaur in mine, which is a mistake actually. I think Venusaur's Mega Evolution actually comes super late in the game. So that's why I'm like, maybe I should have just rolled for Charizard and Charmander instead. But I always go for that. Pikachu, the Kanto starters. I never get Blastoise because I always like to have Gyarados as my water
Oh,
Pokemon.
really? Okay, interesting.
So I always grab a Magikarp and just like just have that useless bag of fish, useless bag of clean pussy,
Ugh. Ugh.
and just evolve it into a Gyarados, right? And that's my flying water Pokemon type. And then I'll just get whatever is new to fill out the rest of it or whatever too. So I'm very standard in terms of I don't care what my team looks like. I just want a good team, and I just play through it. So like if you're like really into like certain Pokemon, then yeah, there's a and the thing is that like having Pokemon like pop out alongside you and journey along, that was a Scarlet and Violet too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody popped off about that, but it's because it was running like at 20 frames per second, 18 frames per second.
Yeah, it had bigger problems.
Yeah, it had bigger problems. So yes, this runs smoothly. There was also misinformation about ZA. A data miner pulled out the map and said that the whole map is one model, which was wrong. It's only one model for one cutscene. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That was also misinformation, and it spread all around, and everyone on YouTube is talking about how Pokemon Legends EA cuts corners because they just put one big block of polygons in there, and you're running around that, which is not true at all. But even so, then if that's not true, then why does everything look so flat? I understand that feels believable because when you look at the map, everything feels so uniform, like it's just like one block. And within several blocks in there, and there's like no texture to the balconies or the windows or anything like that. And it's like I get it, I totally get it. Like Mike already said brilliantly that we are the guys who enjoy low budget games. But if you're gonna focus it all on one city, man, you got to put in a little bit more effort because the city is the character, and you kind of didn't do that here. I will say that the side quests, which I didn't do so much of when I did my review, are pretty cool.
Okay.
They have like little adventures and little stories that really give some life to the city that beyond the textures. So I'll definitely say that. Yeah, I've been playing a little bit more too, because so many people are having so much goddamn fun with this game, anyways. So I'm like, I feel like I missed out, you know.
Yeah, and it's like once again, I'll reiterate, I think. If the fun factor, that's totally fine with the game. I'm complaining about other stuff about the game. I'm not complaining about the gameplay necessarily, or like people enjoying the game.
But I like being in the Pokemon world, man. You know,
yeah,
I want to go to the Pokemon Center and feel
like just good immersion in your game.
Yeah,
and they're not delivering it when I know you have the resources. So I think it's really weird when people are defensive about Game Freak and their fucking low budget shit. It's like you need some fucking better management. I don't know. It's like yeah, they're gonna sell, but it's like. Why wouldn't you want better games when the game could be better?
Like, and that's the thing about I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Say, Mike, before we move on, I know you haven't played this or anything like that. We talked a little bit about it yesterday on Summon Sign, but do you have any thoughts you want to share as well, or are you good?
I just want to say, for the most part, it's just made me not as interested, and not because it's not shiny graphics impressive. You guys know I don't care about that.
Right.
But when you say that the city feels kind of dull, and it's like, yeah, that's the whole like context for the game is supposed to be that it's Pokemon in the city. Neat. And when that part of it actually isn't very interesting, it just makes me say, well, this is not the one I'm going to jump in and try then, because it's like, I want the scenery to be interesting at a minimum. Like, we're not talking about strictly the graphics. It's about the city feeling alive somewhat. It doesn't need to be as like technical as like Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay. I don't need a helicopter flying by periodically, but things could be, I don't know. It could just be a lot more than it is without being on the scale of the biggest AAA game. Like there has to be a middle ground here.
Yes.
Like I want like some semblance of like culture in like different districts,
Yes.
It's like
a real city.
Yes, like this game has different districts. They are named different things. And the reason why I point out the window textures is because why does this district up in the west have the exact same windows as the district in the east? That makes no sense. I don't care if one district has all the same windows. That's cool. That can happen. I don't care. but like at least give me some semblance of like culture, like you said, in a real city, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Like, because just like from a personal example, recently when we went to Long Island and we drove through Queens, and it was so interesting for me, who's from the countryside in Massachusetts, that it's like we drive through and here's like 10 minutes of like, okay, yeah, this looks like, normal houses. And then we get a little further and suddenly we are in Koreatown. And there are a bunch of signs and businesses all in Korean. And I had never seen anything like that in real life. I've never seen a real Chinatown or anything like that. And I was like, this is so cool, dude. Like, we drove 10 minutes from like White Peopleburg, and like now that we're in Koreatown and all the signs are in Korean and I can't read anything. I'm like, this is fucking neat.
That's
And
cool.
then we drove further and it got very black. And I was like, whoa, it's different again. So like it was just one of those, and this is all in one big city. So I feel like just giving a little flavor. Like you said, Gene, it could just be a matter of the decor. Like when you think about a place like New York, it's like, well, it's not all brownstones and it's not all skyscrapers, is it? It's a mix of all these different things. So just stylistic choices to make it feel a little more fresh, you know?
Yeah, and people are pointing out that this game has anti-homeless benches, which it does, you know?
That was the funniest
thing. So it's like, okay, if you're going to be anti-homeless, then why don't you have a whole district where all the black people are, you know?
That was the funniest thing, dog, just because it was like, they were like, dude, I swear to God, like you're just putting so much thought into this. Like it's a bench and it's got handlebars on it. I don't know, man, but armrest is what I mean. It's a bench with armrests.
I don't think Pokemon, the Pokemon company thought that deep about it either, right? But it's like, well, that's the thing. They don't think that deeply about it at all. But it's like people are making fun, like, oh my God, Pokemon Legends EA is DEI because there's a black Nurse Joy in there. And it's like, okay, well, you got Black Nurse Joy in there. Then it's like, why don't you have different cultures in each different district or whatever? It doesn't have to be the all black district, but it's like, just give it some culture, you know?
We had joked in the Discord that the reason why there's the anti-homeless bench, but you don't see any homeless people, is because they caught all the homeless people in Pokeballs, put them away.
One of the main characters, Emma, the detective, used to be homeless, so like maybe there really is a homeless like angle within here. Yeah. I don't know.
All right, let's move on to quickly some sad news.
The
passing of Tomonobu Itagaki, a legend in the games industry. He was the founder of Team Ninja, I believe, which was a Koei subsidiary of Koei. He was famous for Dead or Alive and rebooting Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox, the original Xbox, which me and Gene are big fans of. But he sadly passed away last week. I'm not exactly sure how he passed, but I just wanted to give him a shout out for some great games. Unfortunately, he didn't really come out with anything later on. He did Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden 2. Then he did, what was it called? Devil's Third Gene. I'm trying to remember.
Devil's Third.
That Wii U game, which was not good from what I've heard about. But he was a legend in the gaming industry, and we sadly lost him too young. And Gene, I just want to know, do you have any thoughts you want to share about him?
Yeah, I think it's really sad. He was way too young, 58. His goodbye message was so sad. On Facebook, where he basically said he feels mostly sorry to his fans that he couldn't produce one more project, and it's like that hit me hard. It's like that is exactly what Hideo Kojima has been speaking out while he's still alive. He's like, I need to make more, you know. It's like, I'm running out of time, and I get it, you know, as someone who almost died 3 years ago, I get it. I get this feeling that is like you're not done yet, you know. And for me, that was the most heartache thing. It's like, man, he really for him to put that in his final message, like he really wanted to do something a little bit more, and he just couldn't do it. The time ran out, and that just makes me so sad. He's a legend. I always thought he was like a little weird because like I love Ninja Gaiden Black, but I kind of wish that it was. I always would kind of wish that it was a little different. I love it now. I love the series for what it is now. But even back then, but I love Dead or Alive, And it brings me back to games journalism again in the first place, where it's like, so many games media just calling Dead or Alive and Itagaki sexist while he was still alive.
Right. Yeah. That whole era. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just do a quick Google search and there's like all these Vice articles and like, Dead or Alive Extreme is too sexist for Europe and US and everything like that. And it's like, oh my God, dude, like this guy is just somebody who enjoyed celebrating the female form and the female body, and he did it in his own way. And the games media just kept clowning him the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
But now we want to genuflect and respect him now that he's fucking dead. Great job, guys.
Yeah. Let me just read this. Team Ninja did put out a statement after he passed. So they said on social media, we are deeply saddened by the passing of Team Ninja's first leader, Tomonobu Itagaki. We will carry on the philosophy and creativity that Itagaki-san began and continue to create games that many gamers will enjoy. Our deepest condolences for his loss. So yeah, shout out Itagaki. Thanks for those great games, man. Appreciate it. He was a hell of a character. Famous for the sunglasses.
Rockstar game developer. He was.
Yep.
That's the thing. Like, David Jaffe. So, for folks that don't know, David Jaffe and I do have a new show together called Gaming Explodes with Jaffe and Gene over on his YouTube channel. But we were actually talking about that with Jaffe, because Jaffe was counting himself as, he was among that growing auteurs of video games. Cliffy B of Gears of War. David Jaffe of God of War, Tomonobu Itagaki of Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden, and they were kind of cultivated, and they're all the same age, like Itagaki is just 3 years older than Jaffe, So it's like it hit him personally because it was one of him that left. And
one of his generation.
His generation, and Itagaki was absolutely among that cohort of game designers that were coming out and saying, I fucking made this. This is my vision. It's got the Itagaki stamp on it. It's got a David Jaffe stamp on it. This is a Cliffy B game. This is a Neil Druckmann game. That's started all that. And Itagaki was kind of really leveraging that, kind of before Kojima did, actually, too. Kojima is obviously the guy. He's the number one guy, even more than Miyamoto in terms of like rock stardom. But Itagaki really leveraged it. He knew that he looked fucking cool, and he was such a brand identity. He was so awesome. So sad that he's gone.
Yeah, very sad. Micah, I don't think you have any experience with his games, really. But any thoughts you want to share about him? But if you got nothing, that's totally fine. I just thought I'd pitch it to you.
No, I'm not familiar with his work personally, but it sucks to see someone pass away so young. Someone younger than my parents, So like for me, that's just always shocking to see, because it's like, man, that's just very unfortunate. And someone who is, like you said, Gene, it did always, as a woman, it always upset me to see people so upset about sexy lady games. I mean, go on Instagram. and see what women are posting of themselves, and then tell me it's wrong to make a game about sexy ladies. I don't play them myself because I'm not that target audience, but I don't have a problem with it, right? So it always disappointed me to see how that shit was passed around in games media and just be like, I don't know, it's fucking lame. And this guy created some iconic stuff. So while Gene, like I agree, it's like a little hypocritical. a lot of people who seem to be celebrating him now, who previously had beef with his work, but it's good to see him celebrated and recognized for the things he contributed.
Yeah, the gaming landscape has certainly changed quite a bit, even in the past 10 years. It used to be way more, people giving a game a lower score like Bayonetta because of her sexuality and stuff.
It's ridiculous.
Thank God we're mostly past a lot of that. Mostly. There's still some of it, but
there's still a lot of it there. They're like, oh my God, look at this! Look at the representation. Why isn't the Mafia game have a black person in it? And it's like they did, So it's like,
yeah.
Why aren't all Asians working on Gosa Yote?
Oh my God! Right? Like, That came up again recently about the Ghost of Tsushima, and because it was something I'd forgotten about, that people are upset that it was made by white dudes. And it's like, hold on.
What?
Because before we said we want to see more diverse characters, and then you're going to push the goalposts and say, well, we want diverse people to make diverse characters. And it's like, but here's the thing. You got to go through college and learn how to code and learn how to make games. And there are more and more people of color getting into game dev, which is cool, but it literally will not happen overnight. And so it's like, well, they're making a diverse game. They're making a game about another culture and they're trying to respect it. And you're like, yeah, but you can't do that. You're white. It's like, so if they make a game full of white people, you're like, there's too many white people.
It's like there was this whole...
You can't win.
It was just a couple years ago when people were mad at Sifu because it was made by French people.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, they don't understand like true martial arts from a true kung fu master. It's like, bro, the French guy that taught them the kung fu is a black belt. If you understand martial arts at all, martial arts is literally old Chinese guys giving permission to other white people or other people, say, hey, why don't you spread this shit around? You know?
Yeah.
That's what martial arts is. So they did go to a correct source. It was a black belt trainer, and where the fuck they were, you know?
Yeah. And guess what?
Stupid.
Sifu was awesome. So they did a great job.
And guess what? Sifu is one of the greatest melee combat games ever made. I just played it actually a couple days ago, and I was like, fuck, this game is
so fun.
Brilliant, you know?
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's like, no one's complaining about Capcom making Resident Evil games that take place in the United States.
Yeah.
What? They're Japanese
like,
making a game about Americans. Like, no one cares about that. It's like,
it's
it's fucking cool.
Yeah, why are you making Marvin in Resident Evil 2? You're Japanese. Like,
exactly.
What the fuck are we doing, man?
So
like,
stupid, man. People are miserable.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyways, rest in peace, Itagaki.
Yeah.
We miss you so much.
Legend. Thanks for the great games.
Yeah, and also an Xbox legend too. He was one of the first Japanese developers that he was like, no, fucking Xbox, bro. You know?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a big Xbox supporter.
Yeah.
And a Wii U supporter. And Devil's Third didn't turn out so hot.
I never played Devil's Third. You know what I'm gonna do? I actually remember when I said I was gonna say something I forgot is because I just got a notification that my power's back on. So I'm really excited about that.
Ooh, okay.
But I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna turn on Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 3.
Hell yeah.
That was only released in China and Japan. I'm gonna pop that into my Switch 2 and see that shit perform in just JO or something. I don't know. Just bust it up for Itagaki.
Yeah. I was gonna say
you would probably want that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's a celebration of his work. I was gonna say, Game Grumps played Devil's Third, and it's one of their best playthroughs. It's one I go back to periodically. I might rewatch that playthrough. It's a famous Game Grumps playthrough. It's so good.
Thank you for telling me about that. That's a good way to. I'm gonna do a one gun salute to Itagaki, and in my post salute clarity, I'm gonna watch some Game Grumps.
Okay. All right. Next up for the news, guys, there's a new Halo game getting announced this week, pretty much.
Oh, is there?
The speculation all going on. Yes.
I love having like Micah's Xbox feels in here too. It's great.
Yes. I'm going to read this from GameSpot, but this has been reported everywhere. Next year marks the 25th anniversary of Halo, and it's been apparent for some time that there is a game on the horizon. As recently as last month, Halo Studios reminded fans that it's going to unveil some big news at the Halo World Championship. Now we know exactly when that announcement is going to happen. So that's this Friday, happening in Seattle, Washington. It's going on through the 24th through the 26th, over the weekend. And Brian Jared over at Halo Studios said, can't wait for Halo World Championship next week. Hope to see you in person and on stream, particularly around 1 p.m. Pacific time, when we share an update on one of Halo Studios' projects. Eyes emoji, Halo emoji. So we're going to get some new Halo, the future look out of it. The rumor for a long time has been Halo Combat Evolved Remake. Micah, do you think this is coming to Nintendo, first of all, or do you think it'll skip Nintendo?
Ooh. I'd like to say it could. I'd like to believe that it would. I think it'd be a smart move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be a smart move. If it can run it, I have no idea what the game's going to be like. If it is indeed combat evolved, which it probably is. Gene, what do you think? You think it's coming to Switch?
That
Switch
would
2?
be a great way to. Well, I don't know. Halo is like. Well, Halo used to be the biggest IP, right? But it's been gone right now. So it would be a great way to, you know. I'm not really that excited about playing Halo 1 again. But again,
yeah.
I'm 44 years old. I played Halo 1 like a million times. It is like literally a top 10 favorite game of all time for me. Halo 1 is still my favorite Halo of all time.
Oh, okay. Nice.
You know, flaws and all. I love its spirit. I love the flaws. I love its energy, right? So I'm not particularly excited for it, but it would be a smart move if Microsoft is really, they're obviously really all gung-ho about going multi-platform. Reintroduce the Nintendo kids to Halo, you know? Get them in there. Sell some Mega Bloks toys alongside that.
Man, that'd be so.
Go watch the Halo Paramount TV show where Master Chief fucks a prisoner of war.
Yeah,
What?
Covenant. Yeah.
There's a little prisoner of war, and Master Chief goes in there, takes off his helmet as he always does in that show, and just starts like banging her. It's like,
Oh my god. I don't know anything about this.
that happens at the end of season 1. I liked the show up until that point. The show had a lot of problems, but I was like enjoying it. But all the way up until Master Chief had sex, I was like, no, Master Chief, you are an incel. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with the show? Why is he fucking? This is crazy.
Yeah, what about Computer Wife? That was always the waifu, Cortana.
Yes, it should be you should be in love with the woman in your head. That's the entire point of that's the beauty
She
of that
was like
story.
naked as well. I mean, what more do you need?
Oh, Micah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I bet you that this new Halo remake would put fucking clothes on Cortana.
Oh yeah,
What
they're
if
gonna
they-
nerf. They're gonna
Bro,
nerf
what
her
if-
hard.
They could make her. There's so many options. They could make her black. They could make her somewhat heavier. They
Yeah.
could give her like the half shave haircut, a Karen cut. Like we could do.
There's a
I'm
lot
just
they could do
picturing
there.
the possibilities of what new Cortana could be.
A
They
pixie
can
cut,
Concord her.
right?
You can Concord her, dude, for sure.
Oh, she's gotta
Concord
be-
design. Yeah.
She's got to be sassily sipping out of a drink. You know, she's got to be like having a drink with a straw in it and be like, so taking like a sassy little sip, intergalactic
like
style.
intergalactic or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and she can't stop talking about how she loves caffeine. She's so addicted to coffee. That's her whole
Yeah.
personality trait is loving coffee, right?
Oh man, was that Veilguard that had that?
That was Veilguard. The whole you got a whole vampire, and their only personality trait is loving coffee.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what Cortana looks like. She is going to be so not naked. It's going to be ridiculous. Because they fucking put clothes on her in Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Remember what was her name? The Cortana
The fake
copy.
Cortana, the other Cortana.
Yeah, what was her name?
I don't know. Cortana 2. I don't know what her fucking name was.
Yeah. Are you looking it up right now?
No, I was looking at Cortana models throughout the game.
Cortana nude.
Oh yeah, she
and then you open
gets
another
crazier
tab. And
as
it's
it gets-
Midna for later.
Oh yeah, dude. True Form Midna. Whoo, lord.
No, not that one.
Oh no, what's with you and the Imp Midna, dude? You always bring that one up.
Because that's the one you like. You're just afraid to
No,
say
I like
it.
True Form. Yeah, Halo 1, dude. Halo 1 Cortana to 4 is like crazy. How? I don't know. Just look at it yourself. Let's see. What's fake Cortana's name in Halo Infinite?
Dude, I totally forgot what her name is. It's crazy.
Oh my god, yeah, there's a YouTube video that pops up called Evolution of Cortana, and it is just funny to see the cleavage just go like they made her more like uniboob. It's like where she's wearing a sports bra by the end. Like they went from having like the well-defined like side breast to just like a fucking like one large uniboob under a sports bra.
Her name
basically.
was just a weapon. So
The weapon. Dude, fuck Halo, man. They couldn't even let Cortana go. Every game, I gotta save Cortana. Since
Oh my
3,
God.
and she just comes back as the. It's like, come on, man. We doing this again? Looks exactly the same. Sorry, that's a side rant for another
Yeah,
time.
but they totally just put clothes on her. You know, that's just her clothes. You know,
She looks like a fucking Wii Fit trainer.
Dude, yeah, Cortana in that compared to like Cortana in Halo 4, I remember was crazy.
Yeah, like there are some of them where it's like, whoa, dude, like those are fucking breasts, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
I can't wait to see what Cortana looks like. Oh my god, dude. She
Yeah.
needs to be naked. That's she's an AI.
They don't
for
got
fuck's
they don't
sakes.
got the balls to do it, dude. She's gonna be fucking clothed up, dude. She's gonna have like a scarf on, covering her neck,
turtleneck,
a hat.
a whole ass turtleneck, dude.
Yeah,
shoes. She's even gonna have
no
shoes
feet,
on.
of course. Yeah, of course.
no feet. It's not a Kojima game. Yeah, won't
Mhm.
happen. All right. Well, it'd be cool if it comes to Switch. I don't know if it will. Microsoft's been kind of slow about porting stuff to Switch too. We're getting Indiana Jones, but
Imagine Tomonobu Itagaki's Halo. Imagine how base that would be.
whoa,
You know?
that'd be
Imagine,
pretty sick.
imagine how fucking cool Master Chief would be in that game, you know?
Dude, Azuna drop on a Covenant.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, dude.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, by the time most of you listen to this, you'll probably already know what the Halo game is. So we shall see. Next up, this is just a quick Final Fantasy remake trilogy kind of update. Of course, Hamaguchi, who was the director of Naoki Hamaguchi, who's the director of Rebirth, is doing a bunch of interviews throughout like TGS and stuff like that. And I saw this one from this website is called WCC
F Tech. Yeah.
WebTech, yeah. They have an interview with him going on. I just saw something that was interesting here. One thing that they asked him, are there any plans for a DLC to bridge the gap between Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and the third title in the remake project, similar to Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade? And he said, there was definitely some ideas to create Rebirth DLC, and that was the plan at a certain point in time. But when we revisited the topic and we thought about what our priority should be and what the fans are looking forward to most, we figured that the fans want most is to bring the third installment as soon as possible. That would take priority over Rebirth DLC, so we decided to take that approach. With that being said, once we release the third installment, there is the possibility of having a DLC for the third installment. With the conclusion of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, there's probably going to be a much wider audience for Final Fantasy as a whole, whether we bring another new DLC or a full title. That's something we are actively considering. Now, Gene, you know Final Fantasy VII. We know how the story ends and all that kind of stuff. My kind of thing is if they do DLC, I guess, of this, is it going to be like Advent Children era kind of thing going on there? I don't really know what they'll do, or if it'll be just something completely brand new, which is possible. Maybe some Dirge Cerberus ties in more. I mean, we've been getting that in the remake games already. But do you think, I guess, first of all, Gene, they'll do DLC for part 3? Or would they do another game altogether? I could easily see them doing another game in that universe.
I think a DLC that remakes Advent Children would be fucking cool, right?
Yeah.
Because Advent Children is a stupid movie, but a great one, right?
Yeah. Stupid, a bad but awesome movie.
A bad, awesome, brilliantly choreographed,
really
brilliantly staged movie that has a story that doesn't really like work and isn't really told that well, but like, my God, the visuals are like out of this world, and it still has some of the best 3D movie combat ever put to film. But it's also a relatively short story. So if you just remade that in video game form, like that would actually be the ultimate like goal. The whole goal of the Final Fantasy VII Remake project has been to recreate Advent Children for in video game form. Because we all look at Advent Children and we're like, God damn, I would love to play that. And now we're pretty much doing it. So what better way to just bring that full circle and finally close out the whole story? Because Advent Children really does feel like kind of like the nexus of like why the remake project even exists, story wise and visually, gameplay wise. I think it would be a brilliant way to close out the whole series and the whole trilogy. Oh my God, that would be a dream come true, you know?
Yeah.
To fight Kadaj, you know, and to have Tifa and what's his face fight in that church. Oh my God.
Yeah, I forgot his name, like Yazoo, or maybe that's the other one. I forgot.
Yeah,
his
but
name.
he's the guy with the victory fanfare cell phone
Ringtone.
ringer, which lives in my head forever. Like they had the coolest fucking phones. That Cloud's phone was so fucking
Yeah, those
cool.
like sick flip ones. Yeah.
Yeah, like because Japan had cool phones before iPhone came in and ruined everything, you know.
Yep.
But Japan had a lot of cool different phones and video phones and everything like that. But
Yeah.
I would love it.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I wonder. I mean, Final Fantasy 7 is like the biggest Final Fantasy game, I guess, in popularity probably throughout the
Yeah.
world. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do a new game based on stuff in the past. I think we'll just get more Final Fantasy 7 projects in general, but I don't think to the scope of like the remake games. You got to let it stop at some point. So, but who knows?
Yeah, you can't keep making mega billion remake games or whatever.
Right.
Crisis Core style projects.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
we love.
Yeah. Micah, any thoughts?
Oh, Bradley.
I know
well,
you're
no.
out of your element right now. I know.
I can say that I appreciate that they are prioritizing the next installment over DLC, because you can always go backwards with DLC. You can always have DLC that is back in time, and this is actually like set where whatever game is, like you can always go backwards with DLC and tell a story at whatever frame of time you want. So DLC does not have to advance the story. It can take place whenever. Right. So I do appreciate that for the fans who are clamoring for the next installment, that they're prioritizing getting that out the door next.
Yeah, that's Mean Gene. Get us that game ASAP. All right, guys, let's move. Oh, I'm sorry. One last quick little thing right here. The Kirby Air Raiders Direct, another one, a second one, which was shocked to hear that we're getting a second one, because the other one was like an
can't do this.
It's so in depth. But there is a new one on October 23rd, which is 2 days from when we're recording. So you guys probably have already seen it at 6 a.m. For second Kirby Air Raiders Direct with director Mr. Sakurai. The live stream presentation will last roughly 60 minutes and feature more info on the upcoming game. I'm like, bro, how much of this game is there? How much do you have to show? It's crazy.
It's amazing.
I couldn't even watch the first one in depth. Like I watched the first like 30-ish minutes, but I was like, I don't want to see anymore. I don't want to see more. Sure. I want to experience it. I watched as much as I could for the show to have something to discuss, but I'm like, no, dude, like I don't want to know all of the in-depth nuance of the game and everything about the racetracks. Like, save some surprise, honey. Like, you know, so I don't even know what the fuck else they could get into. I'll watch it. It's my duty. But man, like, please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop showing us the game
anymore. I'm good. I'm interested in the game. I don't need to see any more. But this is crazy. Yeah. Like, this is just Sakurai flexing and showing his power level, because he can do this because he's fucking Sakurai and he made Smash Brothers. So they'll do anything that man wants to do. So, hey, man, if he's passionate about it and wants to show more off the game, I love it. That's cool as hell.
I love it. Yeah.
Yep. Gene, are you gonna watch it or are you gonna skip it?
I'll watch it, but like Micah, like I already fucking played it, right? So it's like I already played it. I don't need to know more as well. I'm good. You know, it's so funny that they're doing this, and meanwhile, so many Metroid fans are complaining like, "Where is the Metroid Prime 4 marketing cycle?" Blah blah blah.
Just hold up. We don't need that. I don't need to see more of that game.
I kind of don't want to see more either. You know, I just want to just play it.
We're good. We've seen enough. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope they do market the game at least.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
Please sell more. Fucking sell it to the goddamn. Sell it to the goddamn Hollow Knight kids, man.
Yeah.
Like, just say, oh, hey, did you like Hollow Knight? Where here is the original series that created this whole genre, and it's in first person, and you get to be a cool fucking lady in a suit of armor. Like,
cool hot lady. Yeah.
Yeah, a hot lady. You know, Tomonobu Team Ninja worked on Metroid Other M, for fuck's sake.
They did.
You know?
They did. Yeah.
And they turned her hot. You know.
Yeah.
Itagaki's everywhere. You know.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk about what we've been playing. Gene, we'll start with you because me and Micah went on Summon Sign first yesterday. What have you been playing?
Yeah, I have, well, I finally put out my Silent Hill F review, so go check that out. It's pinned on my Twitter. I interviewed a therapist who's based in New York, And she deals in relational psychotherapy and identity, and which is exactly what Silent Hill talks about. So,
Cool.
put that game into bed. I love the review. I had a lot of fun writing it. I do think it's one of some of my best writing. Silent Hill does inspire a lot of my best writing. So go check that out. Also, go check out my Pokemon Legends review. It actually broke traffic records in the Washington Post.
Ooh, very nice.
You know, even the editors literally over here were like praising it, and a whole bunch of like my coworkers had to read it because they're like, "Wow, I didn't know Gene could do this." You know, and it's like, yes, I do it all the time. You know, but what I have been playing is Ninja Gaiden 4. Just
Me too.
released. I couldn't review it in time because it's a long game. It's like 20 chapters, bro. Like 19 chapters, I think. And I'm still not done with it. I played a little bit more of it last night. It just keeps going.
I finished it.
You finished it?
Mhm.
Wow. It's good. It's really good, actually.
Yeah, it's
the
really
combat
good.
itself is amazing.
Yeah.
The enemies are so aggressive that there really does feel like a true battle dance. That I think is probably the best combat out of the 4 games. I think.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I don't have a lot of experience with 3, but I was thinking about the other ones I've played.
So that's
like,
the thing.
yeah.
I actually recently just played the entire trilogy just this past year because I love going back to them. Itagaki forever, right?
Mhm.
But I also love 3. But the problem with 3 is that 3's encounter design can be a little overwhelming. Like there's so much rocket spam, and the level design isn't like that incredible. So it doesn't feel as boring. Ninja Gaiden 2 has like the peak level design. Like the
Yeah,
set
man,
pieces,
I miss that stuff.
like the places you go in Ninja Gaiden 2, like you go like dude, you want to talk about cities, man. like Ninja Gaiden 2 had a beautiful city back in Xbox 360
Yeah, the
days, right?
canal city and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the Venetian looking city, beautiful. You know, shit looks like a Final Fantasy city. And
Yeah.
you're Ryu Hayabusa chopping off monsters.
Yeah,
Excellent.
werewolves. Yeah.
So cool. Ninja Gaiden 3 is cool. The combat system is cool. It's just that the encounter design, level design is a little troubling. That's where that's where my nitpick with Ninja Gaiden 4 is. I'm a little
Yeah.
disappointed because I was like really like into like the whole neon city, like Neo Tokyo look of it, and it turns out that's still kind of the most interesting thing about it. Everything else is like, you know, containers and caves and cliffs and very generic like Japanese settings, which is a little exhausting in a year where there's so many great Japanese games set in Japan. You know, obviously Ghost of Yotei just came out, and it's like, man, like going from Ghost of Yotei's beautiful locations to Ninja Gaiden 4's like very drab and dark areas and hallways just feels a little limiting. But I just love the combat so much. Every time I go cling, 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 cling back and forth with an enemy because they're waiting for me to go into the Blood Raven stance where you hold L trigger and you basically just do more powerful attacks. Just feels so good. The dodging and the parrying is excellent. It just feels so perfect for me. Again, I just played the Ninja Gaiden trilogy, so I'm just like kind of locked in. I actually do like these bosses can't hit me. It's so fun. Like I'm just like swerving all over and like parrying these enemies, and it's just so much fun once you actually get a true mastery of the ninja combat. That's all I gotta say. I think I'm almost done. I'm in chapter 15 or 16. So I'm getting there. It's just a little long in the tooth, but then again, the past Ninja Gaiden games have been a little long too, actually.
Yeah, I think like I agree with you on the combat. It's like some of the best combat I've played in a game that I can recall in a long time.
Mhm.
It's fucking awesome and super satisfying. There's so much depth and room for player expression, which I really like. Going through stages though is just kind of boring and not very interesting. There's nothing cool like you were saying in the past games, you know, where you explore an area. Actually, you're kind of just moving forward at 100 miles an hour most of the time. There's
That's
an
it.
occasional side path or something for those like Torii Gate challenges, which is fun, but it's just not very exciting. And I was like, it's all kind of blends together to me. There's nothing that like stands out for me when I think about it. When I think of like the past Ninja Gaiden games, like 1 and 2,
1 and 2.
like you were saying, I can remember like locations and like the layout of them and all that kind of stuff. But here it's just kind of like a blur, honestly.
Hayabusa Village in 1. God, even the fish, the ghost fish temple. Like, there's like nothing like that memorable in those encounters. And you're correct that it's just a hallway of combat arenas. versus you go back to Ninja Gaiden 1, man.
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden 1 Black in particular, the one that Itagaki again had his hands on. It's so crazy that Ninja Gaiden 4 just comes out like right after he dies, you know.
Yeah.
But Itagaki had Ninja Gaiden Black, and like that had so much like adventure game elements of like exploring.
I
like,
love that kind of shit.
Exploring
I
the
miss it.
temples. Yeah, I miss it, man. They took that all out for Ninja Gaiden Sigma. They took out a lot of the puzzles. And Ninja Gaiden 2 kind of has that, you know, a little bit, but they kind of toned that down a little bit. And Ninja Gaiden 3 is basically like, again, the same thing as Ninja Gaiden 4, just like hallways and everything. And Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge is great. The base Ninja Gaiden 3 sucks, but Razor's Edge is good. Not as good as 1 and 2, but it's good. And it's not as good as 4, but it's 4 is just a little bit better than 3. That's where I'm kind of at right now.
I think Yakumo, who is the main character of the game, he is really fun. He has some really cool weapons and stuff like that. I really loved his blood bind or whatever jitsu it's called. I think it's super sick.
Blood Raven, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's an awesome game. I highly recommend checking out if you like action games, especially.
Yeah, Yakumo's a cool character to control. I think he's a little boring as a character.
Yeah, he's super like stoic edgelord character.
Just edgelord ninja with white hair and everything like that. It's so funny.
And it's like the story is like whatever. And for like you and me, we're like used to that with Ninja Gaiden. But if you're looking for something a little more, you'll probably leave a lot to be desired for you, I'd say.
So that's my point. Is like the storytelling isn't great, but it's always been not great. But the stories always felt better in Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, especially because, you know, these are video games. Storytelling happens through the world. You know, you and me, Brad, we play Dark Souls and Elden Ring all the time. We know that the storytelling happens as you're walking through the world and as you're seeing those locations and you're again, feeling immersed. Again, storytelling in Pokemon Legends ZA, you know, like it feels a little bland because you're just in this one bland city. The storytelling in Ninja Gaiden 4 feels a little bland because, you know, sure, the characters are actually kind of fun. I like Umi, you know, the girl characters, they're cute and peppy. They're very Platinum characters. Platinum loves having cute characters, right? The characters are cool, and they're very booby too. So thankfully, they did keep that, they retained that spirit of sexiness, right? But the level design is just not there, so that's why the story doesn't sing, because it's like I don't remember anything I'm really doing other than having cool fights. So you probably won't. They kind of go back to the well, in my opinion, too many times, like on grinding rails and stuff like that. You do that like a lot throughout the game with the same thing, like jump over this, slide under the sign that moves all the time. The little hang gliding or whatever, the wind tunnels, and it's
it's whatever, but I wish there was just more. I just lament the older design of the environments, like you were saying. But
it's like Sonic Adventure type design, except without like the adventure part, you know. So it's just a Sonic game, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
Still really fun. Check it out if you're curious.
But like even like platinum games like Metal Gear Rising had like interesting levels too. Like I'll never forget some of the levels there, and that was still very industrial, but again, like just the level design, the places you jump to, they're just not that interesting. It's weird. But cool game. I'm still having a lot of fun playing it. So.
Yeah, and I already talked about Pokemon with you, so I got nothing else this week. Anything else you want to talk about, Gene?
No, that's it. Yeah, I'm also playing Pokemon too, but that's about it. I think I've been kind of in a Resident Evil mood because I played Resident Evil 9 the other week, right? And of course it's Halloween, October, so you know, you want to be playing your horror games. I need to get to Chronos too. I'm trying to play Chronos. I did try to play Chronos a little bit over the weekend, and it's cool, but I'm a little bored of it now, honestly.
Yeah. I really want to do, Gene, before 9 comes out, Requiem, like do like a deep dive into the older games with you or something like that.
We should do a Resident Evil 1 through 8 retrospective.
Yeah, if we can.
We should do that.
I don't think I won't be able to play through all of them, but I know a lot of them pretty well.
Maybe I'll invite Susie on. That could be a fun episode.
She's an expert. Yeah.
That'd
be good. Cool. Micah, we talked in depth yesterday about what you played, but anything else you'd want to talk about? You want to read any thoughts?
I'll give I'll give the update that I'm glad we had that discussion on Summon Sign because a good friend reached out with some really in-depth suggestions to get through Final Fantasy Tactics. So because a lot of people are like, you just gotta level up, and it's like, well, if that's the answer, I don't want to do it. And my friend Mike sent me like a bunch of very specific things to
okay.
do.
Cool.
So I'm going to try that. It is still in timeout. I will say I don't want to look at that game until the weekend. Like I need put that shit away, put that trash down. But I will say that I am going to try these suggestions and chip away at it.
Cool.
The update for Punching Up though, that I started Golf Story, which has been super fun, and I really like it. We get more into it on Summon Sign. But I'll say that it's a really fun little golf game, unique and inventive golf-themed challenges. And it's old school in the way that you're going around and exploring the courses, the way that you would just bop around the world in an RPG and just kind of like interact with all the NPCs and learn about where you are. And there's little mysteries to be solved and things to do. It's a chill game. It's a fun game. I like the mechanics of it a lot. And I'm having fun with it. It's been a very nice change of pace because when I was getting irritated with Final Fantasy Tactics, I was like, I had that thing. I was like, I need something that sparks joy. I just need something that is just simply fun. It's still a challenge. There's still a good level of like, you got to practice a little bit in Golf Story to get the hang of it. But it's just fun and it's cute. I like the soundtrack a lot. It's a fantastic podcast game. It's a great game to play while the football games are on. Bruins play tonight, so we're going to lock in and play some of that, watch some hockey. I am very much I'm feeling it. It's been a great reprieve from Final Fantasy Tactics. And this weekend, I assume, I'll get back into that. I'll implement some of these suggestions, and try and set myself up for some more success, I hope. Because the reality too is like I did get this far on my own stupid way, right? I did get this far. You know, I'm all the way like into chapter 3. I did get pretty far playing it like an idiot. So, give me a little credit. People are being like, I just didn't fucking play it right. And it's like, I mean, the game let me get this far, bro. So like if I was failing from like battle 1, it would have been different, but I did get this far all by myself. So, like, cut me some slack, Yeah.
Well, now the game's getting real because you're getting further in it. It's like playtime's over, kiddy. Training wheels are off.
Yeah. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it for the man who's wearing the shirt. I'm not getting into it.
Stand down. All right. Anything else, Micah?
No. Golf Story right now is just a source of joy, and I'm enjoying that.
Excellent. All right, let's move on to the next topic. We got some more info on the rumored Resident Evil Code Veronica and Zero remakes. This one is particular about Resident Evil 0, which is a prequel to Resident Evil 1, of course, as the name would imply. But this is from MP First, a website. I'm going to read some of their stuff talking about there. There's some plot and casting details for Resident Evil 0 Remake. They have a bunch of info, but this is from them. They said, similar to what's been reported by reputable insiders, we have been told that Resident Evil 0 Remake is a project that has been in development for a few years now. The title has been worked under the codename Chamber, which works as a clever pun referencing the last name of protagonist Rebecca Chambers, and the voice and performance capture work with new actors for the leads would have begun at some point in 2024. One of the actors joining the new cast is John McLaren, known for playing Star-Lord in 2021's game adaptation of Guardians of the Galaxy, and for his roles in Far Cry 5. We know that thanks to a mention on the actor's resume where Project Chamber is listed as one of the projects and is noted as a lead role. Additionally, the project is overseen by Beyond Capture Studios, a motion capture company that has previously collaborated with Capcom on games such as Resident Evil 4 Remake and Street Fighter 6. And taking into account that the actor's a lead on the project is probably that John McLaren is the actor responsible for playing Billy Cohen, the co-protagonist of the original game alongside Rebecca Chambers. And we've heard prominent Capcom like Resident Evil leakers Dust Golems talk about these games coming for a while. So to me, this is happening. This and Code Veronica are happening. Dust Golem says that Code Veronica probably is 2027, and this is probably 2028, which makes sense because 2026 we're getting Requiem. Get them like a year apart. This is similar to how we got like Resident Evil 2 Remake and 3 Remake and stuff like that. So it's all adding up. I believe this is 100% real. Gene, you're a Resident Evil fan just like me. How are you feeling?
I love this because this goes back to the belief for a lot of people that why don't we remake the bad games or the games that
Yes.
were not even great but like good or mid,
Mm-hmm.
like Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy
Yes.
VII definitely
Yo,
deserves a remake.
dude, if I got a remake, that'd be sick.
If like you actually make it good, like like I know I
Yeah.
always complain about the third person action adventure, but like there's no other better game that would work for that than a Vincent game, Dirge of
Mm-hmm.
Service. Like make that a third person over the shoulder action game completely. That would make the most sense. So Code Veronica, like I hope that they would like I hope that the remake Zero one will be interesting because that might show a window into how they would remake the first game.
Yes, I think so as well.
But also yes, Code Veronica and Zero are both flawed games. They
Mhm.
are generally considered the lower tier, like definitely a C or D tier of the Resident Evil series. A lot of problems, a lot of inventory problems for both games.
Yeah.
Like
Fucking
that's
grappling hook, dude.
the fact that you have to leave things around just for the other player character to get like it's weird that both games have that issue. And like even in Code Veronica, you can actually like lock yourself out of progression. Like if you screw
Yeah.
up and you're
Soft
like,
lock.
oh, you just have to play the whole game over again because you did it wrong this way, which is
Yeah.
interesting. I love that games can punish you like that, but that's obviously frustrating. And like you have to actually kind of see a way to do that before you just kind of like caught unsuspectingly. So I'll be super excited for more Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil fans are the most well fed. We're the
Oh,
most
yeah.
we're the
Oof.
most well fed fandom, I think, because
Yeah, it's
the
nice.
remakes are next level. The new games are great. It's just this is just the best era for being a Resident Evil fan at this point.
Yeah. It's a really good time.
Mhm.
And I agree with you, Gene. Code Veronica and Zero, in my opinion, could definitely do with some remakes.
Mhm.
They got problems, like you're saying, so I would love to see how they tackle them and their interpretation of stuff like that and like the lore. How they
Yeah,
like
dude. Like how
yeah.
like how are you gonna rewrite Steve?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And if you're gonna remake 5, you have to do Code Veronica before 5. So
you
makes
do
sense to
have
me.
to do Code Veronica before you do 5.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I kind of don't think 5 totally needs a remake, honestly.
Right. I think
Uh,
I would rather have other stuff first, but
Absolutely. But yeah, so that's why I'm super excited for Code Veronica. Code Veronica is super cool. If you want to talk about cool locations, that game has like some of the coolest locations in the
location,
series
yeah.
for sure. And Resident Evil Zero too. That's the
it
most,
does. It does
that
have
was
a
one of the
cool
most disappointing
location.
things about both games is that both had some of the coolest sets, but the gameplay design was just bad.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
let's revisit those for sure.
Yeah. Mike, I know you don't really play Resident Evil games, but you've probably watched Colin play several of them. Are you excited to watch Colin play these, or would you want to try any of these?
Oh, yeah. I'm always happy to backseat game for these because so long as they're not the gross type of horror, I enjoy being along for the ride. Gene, you mentioned Chronos and like watching Colin play that was fun. And the couple of, it's like, I would get more scared than he would, but the times that he would be afraid of something, like we'd have such a big laugh about it. So these are games that I very much enjoy just being the backseat gamer and just kind of being along for the ride. I don't know if I'm interested enough to actually try one out. But I am excited for him to play through these and me to watch. Do you guys though? Do you care that they're like recasting the voices and stuff?
No.
Or
They've done
were
that
they
with all
not
the
good
remakes.
originally?
They did that with all the remakes.
Oh,
All of
okay.
them.
I didn't know if people were like attached and that was like a negative.
No, because Resident Evil has famously had some of the worst voice acting like of all time. So,
Yeah.
so to replace it is like, oh, great, thank you. That's a great job. You should
Yeah.
be doing that.
Yeah. So no one cares about that, Micah.
No one in the Resident Evil community really cares about it too much. Like the original Leon was pretty cool, but
Yeah.
but
It definitely got
otherwise,
better.
yeah, like broadly speaking, especially Code Veronica. Code Veronica, like again, the aforementioned Steve is
Steve
literally
Burnside.
one of the
Yeah.
worst characters of all time. Terribly voiced, annoying character, makes no sense in the story. Like does some stupid shit in the story. Like one of the worst characters of all time. So you need to remake that entire character completely, including replacing his voice actor. Too.
Yeah.
This is the controversy of it's like Peter Jackson's like, we're leaving Tom Bombadil out of Lord of the Rings. He doesn't exist.
Oh, man.
And it's people with the Tom Bombadil stands who are like, whoa, you can't do that. People are like, he's better left out.
Stand. I was really upset.
I like Tom Bombadil.
I was
but
really
there's
upset
definitely people who are like, he's the most annoying section of the book. Leave him out.
No, he's the best.
I love him.
He's an important ingredient to the book. I understand why you talk about it in the movie, but it really sucks that the mass populace doesn't understand the magic of Tom Bombadil. So
I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I bet Brad is
he's been
anti-Tom Bombadil.
No, I like Tom Bombadil. I don't like some interpretations of him, I'll say. That's for sure. It's more recent things, perhaps.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
Tom Bombadil porn parody was very bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was bad. All right. Just a quick little thing right here. Nintendo is going to have a pop-up store in London. I'm going to read this from Video Games Chronicle really quick. The London Nintendo shop is open for a limited time, and they list everything you can buy at it. Nintendo London store will be open in the Westfield Shopping Center in London Shepherd's Bush area from October 22nd until November 16th. From October 22nd to October 26th. What are you guys laughing at? Did I say something wrong?
Shepherd's Bush?
What did I say? Oh, Shepherd's
that's
Bush
what
area.
it is. Like we named it that? Jesus Christ.
Mike is like Beavis and Butthead over here, man. He's like, oh.
Yeah, she is Beavis and Butthead.
This is a Shepherd's Bush.
It's fucking nuts. Like, you named it that? It's like how they got their dollar store called like Poundland or something. Pound Town, whatever it is. It's like, what are you guys doing?
I will just give them the benefit of the doubt and say this place has probably existed before pubic hair is referred to as bush. But maybe not. I don't know. Those
Mayhaps you're correct, my lord.
Mayhaps. From October 22nd to 26th, the Nintendo London store is open to ticket holders only. Tickets have sold out, but then general entry will run from October 27th to November 16th.
You can't just walk in the store and just buy a thing?
Not for those days. You cannot.
Oh, okay.
From 22nd, so 4 days you can't. But
I did see Andy Robinson, the editor of VGC. He just went there today, so it's already happening.
Yes.
So yeah, that's cool.
That's what is going there. I believe there is no exclusive merch for it, like London merch or anything like that. It's all merch from the other Nintendo stores like Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, San Francisco, and New York. But they have a bunch of stuff listed here. So if you are in Shepherd's Bush, I guess, you can head over to that Nintendo pop-up store. Because, you don't have one over there. So maybe check it out. Nintendo stores are really fun. So go over there if you get a chance to. But yeah, Gene, you may have been to Nintendo stores. I forgot, Mike, have you been to one?
No.
No? You didn't go when you were in New York, I forgot.
No, we were late getting there, and we were just so fucking tired. We went to the hotel, we ordered a pizza, we like collapsed.
Yeah. Lots of cute Animal Crossing merch here. And Pikmin merch, too. Yeah, some cool Pikmin shirts. Good shit. All right, just a little PSA there. Final news story of the week. I just saw this morning, and they just can't catch a win right now. But Xbox dev kit prices are increasing across the board for everybody. This was broken by Tom Warren, I believe. I cannot read it from The Verge because I'm not a subscriber, so I'm just going to read this thing that someone wrote on Reddit about it. But yeah, this is from Tom Warren, The Verge, if you want to get the original story. After raising prices on Xbox consoles and subscriptions, Microsoft is now turning its attention to Xbox developers. Sources familiar with Microsoft's plans tell The Verge that the company is significantly increasing the price of Xbox's development kit, the XDK, the custom hardware used by developers to build Xbox games. The current Xbox dev kit is moving from $1,500 to $2,000, a 33% jump in price. Quote from them, the adjustment in price reflects microeconomic developments, says Microsoft in an announcement to Xbox developers, seen by The Verge. We remain committed to providing high-quality tools and support for your development efforts. And this is from Tom, said, I asked to comment on the price rise, but the company didn't respond in time for publication. The short announcement from Microsoft's Xbox developer relations team makes it clear that this price increase goes into effect immediately. I understand it's not just impacting U.S. developers, as the price of these development kits is also given across Europe and everywhere else. That's likely because these microeconomic conditions extend beyond just U.S. tariffs, with currency fluctuations, production costs, and other elements impacting pricing. Xbox has had a problem about games skipping it, particularly from like a lot of indie standpoints, I feel like. And this is just a further barrier for that going on there, which is not good. What do you think about this?
I don't know why they're doing it. I don't.
Like, you can't eat the cost on it, I guess. You can't do it when you're like dying to get people on your platform. But unless, Gene, this is like the thing kind of rolling into their next system, if it's a PEC kind of hybrid thing and they just do like a Windows version of the games from now on and not a separate Xbox version, maybe that's leading into that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe this new kit is it's like you got to make it for Windows 2 now, or it's like the new Windows OS. I really want that ROG Ally. I'm not gonna spend $1,000 for it, but
yeah,
like I do think that it does seem to be like an interesting peek into the future of what Microsoft gaming will look like. So that's a good point. This news completely confused me, but if that's what's going on, then that makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, like $500 for a developer, really? Like you gotta. If it almost feels like nickel and diming them, but
yeah,
I don't know.
And I'm curious about like how much the other development kits cost. For like Nintendo.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never thought that they actually costed much at all.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is.
Yeah,
but just like a little poke at the company. Microsoft's had a hard time with messaging and just bad news recently coming out for them. So this is just a tiny little bit.
Just another cut of the 1,000 cuts, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Micah, you're a big Xbox fan. What do you think about seeing this?
No, just exactly what you said. When you were reading it, I said, can't they just eat that cost? That really was the first thing I thought of. Like, just because it's almost like you're punishing people for putting games on your platform. But obviously, the long-term goals, what Xbox is going to mean going forward, what Xbox is going to be going forward is, starting to become a little more clear, and we have to wait and see the full extent of it. But on paper, what it comes down to is that on paper, this is just like botch job after botch job for Microsoft, because it's just more bad news. Yeah. Whether or not it's like justified for people to be like, oh, this is crazy, it just doesn't sound good. From a PR standpoint, this is just hit after hit of like Game Pass price goes up, and it's just like endless bad news out of Microsoft. That's the biggest problem is I don't know how much dev kits are supposed to cost, so I really can't say like I don't know if this is fucking nuts or not. But it's not a good look to be raising the price on the dev kit on your platform that is kind of floundering right now for finding its place in gaming still, and what it means to be an Xbox. They decided to do the whole thing where it's like everything's an Xbox, and it's like I don't know if that was a good idea.
Right.
I feel like it wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems like it's just hit after hit against Microsoft lately.
I have a question for you about this, but first, I just want to say, I wonder what Colin will think about this, because Lily Mo, developer, he's a co-owner, I think, or the owner of that developer. And they've had Xbox ports, I believe, of their games. So whoever does the game stuff, maybe Barry, I think is the guy's name.
Yeah, that's Barry.
Yeah, I wonder what he'll think about this and Colin's perspective. Maybe we'll talk about it in Sacred, so I'll keep an ear out for that.
Because we have one of the PlayStation dev things, and but it's like, I don't know what's involved in getting one of those. I asked Colin about his work, but
Yeah, of
he
course.
talks a lot on the shows. I try not to bother him
with
things that are work related. So it's like, I actually don't know how much that, like, what's the process to get one of them? Because when we were discussing that, it's like people having trouble getting Switch 2 dev kits. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, Nintendo, you don't want people to have these? You don't want people to make, like, what are you doing? What the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
So it seems like dev kits in general. I'm like, what's going on with you guys?
Yeah, seems like a strange thing. Just a kind of off-topic question for you about Microsoft and Xbox,
sure.
Micah. With the rumors of like what the next Xbox is gonna be, like it's gonna be this maybe PC hybrid console kind of thing like that. And Tom Warren and stuff was talking about it. Moore's Law is Dead, or not Tom Warren. Tom from Moore's Law is Dead was talking about it and saying it's gonna be more powerful than the PlayStation 6 probably, but it'll be more expensive for sure. People are thinking maybe $800 to like $150 or $1,500 perhaps for this next system. And like when we're seeing the ROG Ally X, you know, the price of that, it's like doesn't seem that far fetched to me right now. But is this like an ecosystem you think you're going to stay in when that comes, or are you kind of just waiting to see, or are you maybe thinking of other options at this point?
Truly, at this point, it strictly depends on them having games I care about on that platform.
Right.
It's always going to, well, I'll say always, it's always been my favorite controller. It's always been my favorite UI to interface with. Like, I've always just liked Xbox. Now, with what they're kind of leaning towards in terms of, yeah, Gears is on PlayStation now. And if we continue doing that, and if the new ones come over, that's going to really say, do I need to spend $800 to play this game when I got, I don't know, 3 PS5s in this fucking house? And maybe they put E-Day on PlayStation right away, and Gears 6 should it ever see the light of day. Because the biggest problem for me is that I am losing exclusives that I care about on Xbox. I have. They've stopped making games that I'm super interested in. I don't give a fuck about Halo. I don't like it. I never liked Halo. And so it's like, oh, and once again, here comes War Halo. It's a fucking another remake of wet fart sound. Like, who cares? So sick. This is not motivating me to buy your next box. Like, give me something I care about.
Right.
So if they're moving away from exclusives in general, I already am just kind of like, that was half the reason to buy the box. I don't know if I truly don't know if I'm bougie enough to say, yeah, I'll pay $800 to use this controller and to have this interface. I don't think I am. I think I would just suck it up and say, fine, I'll play it on PlayStation because I just don't think it's worth that much.
Sure.
Like I don't know, real life example. I wanted to get my teeth fixed, and they're not that bad in the first place. And this man quoted me $5,000, and I was like, my teeth are not fucking worth $5,000. I'm not.
Dude, dental work is expensive.
And they're just not that bad. They just really aren't. I would spend like 2 to 3 to fix my teeth, but they're just not that bad. I get told that I have decent teeth, so I'm like, all right.
I have to do some dental surgery, and I'm being quoted $9,000. So that's
it's fucking crazy.
That's why I'm like, Brad, do you need me on Summon Sign this week? Yeah, Brad, do you need me on Summon Sign next week? You know,
like this was for Invisalign, and they wanted $5,000, and I was like, it's nuts, right? So
that's cool. Well, I need that too, you know. Or braces. Braces again at my old ass age of 40, but you know,
dude, I can't do braces again.
I definitely need one tooth removed, and that's going to cost me $7,000 itself, and to get the new implant, it's going to be $2,000, and it's like,
oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Dude.
So
it's
like right
nuts.
now, I'm trying to shop around for a dentist. I don't know if they're all going to quote me the same goddamn price, but this is ridiculous, man.
We're going to Turkey, you and me, Gene. Let's take a trip to Turkey, get some dental work done.
Go to Franklin, Tennessee. Go to my brother. He does root canals. That's his job.
Oh, he's a dentist?
He was a dentist. He's beyond that. Like, he did more schooling after that.
Oh, he's like an oral surgeon?
Kind of. What was the term? Let me look at this.
And you're just Googling it. You Google him and it comes up like fake doctor.
I think it's endodontist is the term.
Endodontist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's what he does now.
I'm going to ask you this. I'm saying this from a place of this happens to me. Do you ever get like side-eyed by family because like your brother's like a fucking doctor? Because like,
no.
God damn it. Okay, my grandma, God rest her, because I miss her a lot. However, I need to address that grandma loved to bring up that cousin Evan went to MIT. And it's like, yeah, but grandma, who writes you letters every couple months? Me. The community college Micah over here is the one who's writing you letters, grandma. But God, she fucking loved telling people that Evan went to MIT. I could never live up to that.
I like never hear my parents brag about that kind of stuff. to other people. Like I've personally never heard it, and they've never. I was lucky, and they always just kind of wanted me and my brother to do whatever made us happy with work. So
Wow, what is that like?
it's very nice. It's awesome. My parents rule. They're so sick. But
And also, I gotta say,
Yeah.
Evan is a great cousin and a very nice man. This is not about Evan. It's about Grandma.
yeah, it's my grandma. But yeah, no one in my family's ever really been like that, which is great. So I'm lucky in that regard. But yeah, that's where I'm like, dental work, just going to my brother. Handle all that shit for me.
Oh,
All right.
trust me. As soon as I got a job at the Washington Post, my family was like, "Oh my God, thank God." thank God Gene got an important job finally. You know?
It worked out.
It worked out. It was real touch and go for a bit. He was 34 years old, going nowhere fast, and then finally I got it. And now I gave them finally something to brag about because they do brag about that all the time.
That's cool. Hell yeah.
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 But
My parents trying to explain what my job is to other people is very funny.
that's
Oh,
crazy. Yeah.
That's the best. I think I've told my parents have like asked me a couple times like what is it that you do? Now they understand it more because they've actually checked
Seen it?
out the shows.
Yeah.
When they weren't, like when they had never seen it, I just told them like it's basically just like a talk show and it's on YouTube.
Mhm.
You know, it's an internet radio show. Later they would finally check out the show. And I think they probably only wondered even more how we made money off this once they actually saw it. But they now understand somewhat what we do.
My mom watched the show and she's like, Brad, can you stop swearing? It's like, sorry.
Tell her
Sorry.
not to watch this one.
Yeah, don't watch it, Mom. Oh no, I've
Don't
never
watch
told her
it.
to watch. I've
Don't
never
watch this one.
even brought up punching up to them. Really to watch punching up. No, hell no. Hell no. They don't need to see that. My brother was like, hey, what's the Nintendo show you do? I want to show the kids. And I was like, no. I was like, you can't show the kids it. You can't.
I had to do the same because one of my cousins, when she found out what we did, and she was like, "Oh my God, the kids would love that," and I was like, "Oh, it's not very child friendly because of the language we use."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, all right," but it was like, "Don't,
Yeah.
don't."
Can't show it. Nope, sorry. All right, guys, let's end this show with some write-ins from the audience. If you guys would like to submit inquiries to this show, I post a thread every Sunday on our Patreon. Once again, patreon.com/lastdaymedia, calling for your submissions. So keep an eye out over there. We do that for all of our shows, by the way. So if you want to write into a specific show, keep it locked to that thread. All right, this is from Interview Johnson, the landlord, on Fireside Chat. Wow, Fireside Chats, that's a long time ago.
Johnson, the landlord, that's a deep cut.
Isn't that like the San Francisco landlord or something that he had?
Yes, I believe Johnson
I've
was
heard him
the
talk about
Chinese
that.
man
Yeah.
who was the landlord that they paid cash to, I think.
Yeah,
I
Colin would
believe
deal
that's
with
him.
Yeah, that's really funny. Hi all. Have you ever had a game that seems just to elude you? For years, the one DS game I wanted to get was Zelda Spirit Tracks. Recently, I had a failed Discord sale and a 40-minute drive to a local store where they had accidentally posted they had it. The next time the same store posted it, I called them and they held my copy for me to get this weekend. Finally, after all these years, I can play the sequel to the first Zelda game I played. The sequel? It's not a sequel, really. Well, never mind. I'm not getting into Zelda timeline shit. I grew up with Pokemon from day one, but had Kirby and GBA DK Country instead of Mario and Zelda before the DS era. Thanks, Joe. All right, Micah, you love getting those physical games. You love buying old games off GameStop. What is there a game that you've wanted that's always eluded you?
I mean, recently I finally got my copy was Avalon Code because
Mhm.
that was a game that I had looked into and I kind of, balked at the price. Then it went out of stock and I was like, what have I done? And I was watching it for months. I was checking to see if any local stores had it. I was looking on eBay. The price was insane. That was several months of me saying like, damn it, I missed out on that. I should have gone for it. Now I do own it. I'll say too, this years ago, my boyfriend at the time was like desperate to get a copy of Klonoa. And we were just like going around to different, growing up like in Western Mass, there were a couple like locally owned like used game stores, but like this was like really a couple. And so, and to answer the sacred debate, it's two. A couple is like two. And so we were, though. It's like, then we did not find one. I think we had seen a copy at PAX East and it was like crazy expensive. I don't know if he ever ended up getting one or not, but that was a game that we searched for every year at PAX, going through the used game booths, and just whenever we encountered a used game store, he was always looking for a copy of Klonoa.
Mm-hmm. Gene, what about you?
Pardon for my sound quality right now. I've actually had to plug in my iPad because I'm at 6%. So,
Oh, sure, yeah.
and there's only one outlet, so I can't really use the mic right now. But I guess one game that's really eluded me purchase-wise is Dragon Quest V. You know, I played it on
Oh, sure, yeah.
my sister's DS way back in the day, but we just never had a physical copy. And I just, obviously that game is expensive. So
Yeah, those games are expensive.
yeah, that's like $200, $500 for the 3DS version. So it's like I have emulated it. It's on my Steam Deck, so I'll be playing it again sometime soon. But that's definitely the game that I think about the most.
Yeah, I'm looking at like price charting just to see kind of where it ranges from Gene. Loose price is like $117.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Complete price is kind of like around there as well, maybe slightly, but like new price $200. So you're gonna be spending at least $100 probably. Yeah. But if you want it,
I'd buy it for $100. I bought Godzilla PS4 for $100.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Why not? Dragon Quest 5 is a much better game. So.
Are expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have 8 and 7, which I think are pretty decently expensive as well. At least
I know. I wish I saw 7 at a con recently. I should have just bought it. It would be such a cool way to have it alongside the new 7 remake that's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think the DS ones are more. Yeah. And I'm sure I bet 7 dropped in price a little bit now that's getting a remake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to own those someday, but I'll just wait, man. I'll just wait. They're gonna remake those. It's just gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. For me, one game I've been wanting to get there's 2 games actually I've been wanting to get for a while, but I kind of gave up on one a long time ago, which was Vagrant Story. I never owned it, and I always wanted to own it. An old Squaresoft game.
I just emulated that too. It's on my Steam Deck.
Yeah, really cool game, really awesome, super unique, but it is expensive.
I never owned it too. My best friend had it. So
yeah. That and one more recently I've been wanting to get, and I haven't seen at stores. So and I saw it one time and I should have bought it, but I just didn't. Which was Folklore, an old PS3 game that I've been meaning to play forever, but I just missed my chance. But if I really wanted to get it, I could, but it's too much shit to play right now. Like we're all busy, so it doesn't matter. One day though, I like to get to it. All right, this is from the Diddler. Diddle me this, punchers. Which of these games do you think will release first? You can make a list from first to latest. Dragon Quest 12, a new Zelda, Kingdom Hearts 4, Final Fantasy 7 third installment, Dino Crisis Remake. All right, I think out of this, a remake or remaster of Zelda doesn't count, I would say. It has to be a new game. Because I could see a remaster next year for Zelda's 40th anniversary. But in terms of a new game coming out, I think Final Fantasy VII Part 3 will be out first out of all of these. Dino Crisis Remake, I don't know. Dragon Quest 12, I feel like is far away still.
I feel like Dragon Quest 12 will never happen. So
yeah, that game feels like 4 years away.
We haven't seen a single thing about that game besides a bad-looking logo,
Yeah.
So my guess is FF7 3 2.
Yeah.
Because that's probably trucking along. Hamaguchi can't keep his mouth shut about it.
Yeah, he keeps chatting about it.
Yeah, he keeps chatting about it. I love the guy. So yeah.
Yeah. Dragon Quest 12 was announced in 2021, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Micah, what do you think?
I'm going same as you with Final Fantasy third installment. I agree. That was my first thought of like, yeah, that seems the most plausible.
Yeah. I want to say Kingdom Hearts 4, hopefully next year. I doubt it, but it's been like 3 years since they announced that game as well, so you never know. It's fucking Square. Everything I love takes forever, so that's just the way it is. All right, this is from Aaron Rogers. Hello, Fisting Masters. This is my first write-in for the show, and I have a special one. Recently, there was an article in IGN about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 about whether it be turn-based. Now, besides the fact that it won't be, besides the fact that it would be stupid to change gameplay styles at the end of a series, the article directly suggests this because Clair Obscur brought JRPGs back. Since when have they left? Persona, Dragon Quest, Xenoblade have been killing it for years. As the resident Clair Obscur haters, what's with the glaze this game gets, especially when Final Fantasy is in any conversation? At this point, it's getting so tiring that I really hope they don't win the GOTY. Damn. Anyway, any thoughts on this? I am now going to fist Donkey Kong. Wish me luck. Holy shit. I don't wish you luck. All right? Jane, you and me have been making fun of Clair Obscur fans for a long time. We enjoy it, even though we love the game. I think this is a silly... if anyone is expecting them to dramatically change the combat, like from action to turn-based in Part 3, you are crazy. You need to calm down.
Yeah.
There could be a little nod or something at a part, but...
So IGN story, of course, is aggregating a story from the gamer. So
no.
Never ends. But so IGN didn't do the original story. It was the gamer reporting this out of the Brazilian game show. So he said, the gamer says, before closing our interview, I want to know what Hamaguchi feels about the future of the series outside of the remake trilogy. So this person was asking about whether Final Fantasy would return to turn-based in Final Fantasy in general. Okay. So I don't think it means to suggest that remake will be part 3, but again, we're taking this aside from the fact that Expedition 33. Oh, so Hamaguchi is saying right here, we're taking this aside from the fact that Expedition 33 was received well. We received a lot of JRPGs or back comments. For me, I'm thinking about what game experiences fans will enjoy. That's the most important point. I'm not just going to make a game and say I'm making a turn-based game or an action-based game. It can go either way. What's most important is finding out what the game design will appeal to fans. So that was a useless conversation.
Yeah.
We've learned nothing from it. And that's, again, my point about games journalism. You're asking pointless questions. You're wasting this man's time by asking questions that he won't answer right now. And he gave a non-answer. Of course he did, because it's a fucking stupid question. It should be like some of these devs should just treat some of these game journalists like John Cena did to the TMZ reporter, where he was just at the airport. And then he just went up to John Cena and said, hey, John, what do you think about Trump's blah, 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 blah? And John Cena was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. And just walked away. And I was like, yes, that's a Chad right there. Fuck these people. So fuck these people asking stupid fucking questions. And that's a stupid fucking question, What a stupid fucking... And of course, yes, the writing is correct, JRPGs never left. I'm so tired of hearing that Clair Obscur made JRPGs mainstream. It's like, first of all, that's not true. That was FF7 that has still sold more than Clair Obscur back in 1997, right? Mm-hmm. So it was a smaller market, and yet it still sold more, The number one best-selling PlayStation game of all time, the commercial was playing at movie theaters and TV shows, That was what brought JRPGs to the mainstream. Persona 5 was the second wave back in 2017, right? And that was a mega hit too. Clair Obscur is just another part of that success.
Yeah.
You can say that without deleting the entire history, the rich history of JRPGs. And you can tell that Hamaguchi was clearly bothered by that. He mentioned, we're hearing a lot of JRPGs are bad comments. And he's I met him, he's a very polite man. He's not going to say this. That's fucking stupid. He's not me. I would say that, I would be like the worst game dev. I'd be like Itagaki, I guess, which is why I respect him so much, because he would tell game journalists to fuck off. Yeah, what a useless conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks for the write-in.
All right. Final writing here is from Raisin. Howdy, Punchers. This week, I'll be writing in the same question for each platform shows, so we'll see if they pick it as well. October 8th, 2025, Rolling Stone published an article titled The 250th Greatest Songs of the 21st Century So Far. Spoiler alert, Missy Elliott's Get Your Freak On was named the greatest song of the 21st century so far. In line with this question, what do you all think is the greatest Nintendo game of the 21st century so far? My pick would be Animal Crossing New Horizons, but what about y'all? I look forward to y'all's, I like how I'm saying y'all so much, hopefully spirited debate on this topic. Also, thoughts on Missy Elliott's Get Your Freak On being named the greatest song of the 21st century so far. We all know the real answer is Creed's Higher. Can you take me higher? Yeah.
The mariachi version that was played at that baseball game.
Oh, man, that's so funny.
Oh, dude, yeah, if you haven't seen that video, it's hysterical. It's like,
not.
I think you just type in Creed mariachi, it should come up.
I will look at that. That's good shit. Micah, what do you think is Nintendo's greatest game of the 21st century?
I might give it to The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I fucking love that game, man.
It made you a fan of the series, yeah.
It really did. And I just think that says a lot about it. It took someone like me who was super intimidated by Zelda games and said, I don't think I'd enjoy that. And it just made it a whole bunch of fun. And then I was able to go back and say, yeah, I'm going to go play some of the other Zelda games. I haven't. It's been a little hit or miss, but I tried them. The important thing is I tried them.
Yeah.
And that's what counts. And I've been able to finish most of the games and have a good time with them. So yeah. I give a huge nod to that just because this is more like it's what's my favorite so far. But because it did get me interested in a series that I previously had said, I don't think I'd enjoy that.
Yeah. Gene, what do you think? Greatest Nintendo game so far, 21st century?
I'm plugging my mic for this one. Great question. I love this write-in. Animal Crossing is a great pick. I think I would not be angry if that was a choice. I think it has to be either Breath of the Wild, right, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or Mario Kart 8 in general. But otherwise, I think those are the two. I think those are the three best. Because Animal Crossing did like send cozy games into the stratosphere. But Breath of the Wild did change open world game design forever.
Huge impact, yeah.
Yeah, and Mario Kart 8 is just Mario Kart 8. It's just a blockbuster. So I think it's probably Zelda or Animal Crossing is good too. Regarding Get Your Freak On, great choice. It's funny that I didn't know that this article came out, but I've actually been thinking about how cool Missy Elliott was and how great she was. Get Your Freak On is a good choice. It probably wouldn't have been my choice. Also, I can't believe that came out in this century. That's crazy. It feels like so long ago. But the better song by Creed is My Sacrifice.
My sacrifice.
And it's a good one.
Yeah, it's very similar to Higher. It's like the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 of Creed. It's like which one's better? They're both great. Higher did come out first, but My Sacrifice. I love that chorus and how elevated. I fucking love Creed, dude. Creed was actually a great band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Creed rules. I'm a fan of the Edge song, Getting Closer to the Edge or whatever. I like that one.
Yeah. So great write-in. Great questions.
Tough for me, Gene. I agree with you on Breath of the Wild to an extent. I like Tears of the Kingdom more than Breath of the Wild, but Breath of the Wild definitely had a bigger impact. That's for sure. It's what about the Galaxy games, man? It's those are kind of flawless experiences, pretty much.
They're up there.
So I don't know. It's hard for me to say. Mario Odyssey is great too.
Galaxy games,
Yeah, I would put Breath of the Wild just for impact's sake, I suppose.
Yeah,
I prefer some other games, but I think from your universal standpoint, probably that. All right, Micah, Gene, we're done. Gene, thanks for going to the office to record. Appreciate that, man. But your power's back. You can go home and play some video games.
Yes, I'm going to go home and play some Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm now at 3% on my iPad, so we made it just in time.
Hell yeah.
Battery. It's now plugged in, so the audio is going to be messy. But again, as Micah said, we are a Nintendo podcast. Pretend that you're playing Dark Souls 1 on a Nintendo Switch. You're very mono.
Exactly.
No stereo sound whatsoever. But thanks for listening, and course, happy to be here. Needed to make my punching up LSM obligations, so of course I checked over to the office. So can't wait to go back home and finish up Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yes,
finally.
sir. All right. Micah, thank you for joining us as well, even with all that AC chaos. Appreciate
we didn't
it.
hear any. I certainly didn't hear any bumps and noises. So
Yeah, I didn't hear anything either.
yeah.
No, yeah. He ended up leaving right before we started because he
nice.
was like up there, and I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be because he was banging around up there. But Gene, we should have said that you were recording with the Piranha Plant camera. Like we should have been like, that's what we're using, the Piranha Plant cam, and that's what we're just testing it out. That would have been a lie, which is why we can't do that. But
I do have my Nintendo Switch 2 camera like on my desk at home, and it's just collecting dust. It's just like I'm sorry, I'm never gonna use that.
Yeah, never.
I'm never gonna use that thing. I'm sorry. It's crazy.
I would never use it either. All right, hey everybody, thanks for watching and listening. We appreciate it greatly. We'll see you next week. Take care and goodbye. Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Bradley Ellis. My co-hosts are Gene Park and Micah Moriarty. The show is edited and produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Punching Up, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we're grateful for your kind contributions and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.